I want a sandwich. Now. Oh, sandwich wench. Yo, wench. Sandwich. Now. I'm going to need a sandwich. A sandwich. I'm going to need a sandwich. A sandwich. I'm going to need a sandwich. A sandwich. A sandwich. A sandwich. I'm going to need a sandwich. A sandwich. I'm going to need a sandwich. A sandwich. A sandwich. Oh, sandwich wench. I want a sandwich. Sandwich.
Hi everyone, we're back for part 2. I say we this time. Yes, there's another person here. We're going to be going through a bit more of the Doodah What's It thingamajiggy Doodah Sinder VTuber drama stuff, because you guys asked for a part 2. And it didn't do very well the first time, but I listened to my audience when they asked me to do something. So joining me to do this is Leona, who I'm screen sharing with so she can help read because I'm illiterate. Say hi, Leona.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone in the chat. Hello, Shah of Thirst. You were indeed first. The thirst was first. Hello, Bubbly. Hello, Berries or Juniper. Hello, Shah. Hello, Becky. And hope your crocheting's going well, by the way, Shah. Hello, Art and Gaming. Hello, Sky. Hope you're doing well today. We are going to be carrying on with the discussion on Sinder. Although I will admit I wasn't entirely sure where I finished last time, so we're actually going to go back slightly because I'm pretty sure I was requested to look at Silveveil and I did go through it, but for the sake of this we're going to go through it because Leona can read and I can't. Yeah.
Are you sure about that? As you like to remind me, I am American.
Well, you don't have an education system, but you do have a narration channel.
True.
For those who need a recap, this all started because of an individual called Nanolus who had put out a Google document. Thank you, Jean-Claude, for the super chat. I really appreciate that, by the way, because there's a half-consumed buzzball on my desk here that's been covered by a buzzball to protect it from evaporating, and yeah, so it's not evaporated. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. But yes,
very sweet.
Nanolus had put out a Google document, a very lengthy one that we went through 3 nights ago, and basically Sinder and Red are arseholes. There you go. They manipulate, they bully, and they hate everyone because they're jealous and petty, yet they are hugely, Sinder especially, is hugely successful. To be jealous of your I mean, I'm jealous of my peers, but only because they're more successful than me. I'm not going to go out of my way to bully them, because I don't I'm not going to tell people they can't work with other creators. My avatar artist has worked with the likes of Just Stop. I never said at any point to them, can you please do me a favour and like the name Just Stop? No. Because, you know, you make your money. Also, you're getting your name out there, which in turn helps me. So why do I care? You know? I see no reason to be jealous of that, although, just to be clear, the art you see on the screen was done by Pencil Cookie, not by my avatar artist. This was done on the fly because I needed something. And apparently I have a twinkle in my eyes.
Snickles.
Sup?
You do.
So...
No,
Go on.
I get it. Because you know, like you said, I'm a narration channel and I'm very small. I'm proud of the numbers I had. I worked very hard, even though I've been lazy lately. But
can confirm.
I think it's yeah, you can. He's been telling me to make content, but anyway, I understand. It's human nature to feel a bit of envy, a little bit of jealousy. That's just part of the deal. But to go out of your way, because that's what this is. You go out of your way to try to sabotage, to try to exile people, to try to take this artist and segregate them over to where they're only yours. That is a level of toddler. Just straight up level of toddler.
Gaming, you're quite right. Acting on it, you know, exactly, is correct. I think it goes beyond that. If you then go to a meet and greet and then you the person who's jealous, try to do the meet and greet with the person you're jealous of because you want to work with them, and then when they don't want to work with you, it all falls apart, and your jealousy just becomes exhausting. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, get over yourself. Shelve your
Yeah,
pride and simply be a better person. And this is where it all goes out of control, really, for Sinder, because Nanolus's document had a lot of names redacted, and then over time, which we went through very short space of time, I might add, over a short space of time with people reading the document, those who were redacted then come out and say, "This is me, by the way. I'm this one." And then you find it's even more. Oh, Taco Link. Thank you, Zoe. What are we voting for? Me. No Lives Matter. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. I really appreciate that. Hi, Bri.
Hey, Bri. Yeah.
Hello, Kicking the Swede.
This is where you really want to tell somebody, grow the hell up. This,
it definitely,
like I said, toddler behavior. This is ridiculous.
There's a level of irony, I guess, in that. And I know some people have legitimate reasons to have a certain vocal style. And that's totally fine. But it's ironic from a community that like to latch onto baby voice, that people acting as if, and it's often interpreted as people acting like children. But then a lot of these people are quite young. Some of them don't realise you can attach your tail to your belt for your little furry outfit instead of sticking it up your arsehole. But apparently many don't get it. Some people just think that's where it belongs. Okay then. Hi, Kefki and Damon. Hope you're well. Hello, Mr. Gamer as well.
I know that cookie. Hi.
Yes, indeed. A majority of them are never apologetic. That's very true, Mr. Gamer, and that's why we're going to get to the apology soon. Don't you worry. It's actually the 4th Google document we're going to look at. I will bring us over here. I think it's the correct scene. That's actually got my hamster on it, so I should probably pull this up. There it is. Right. That's the tweet of silveveil, and we're going to go through the document. I think we did go through this on Friday, but we will start to make progress. We've got Spite, Rain, Sinder, and I know I know Rain's considered inconsequential. I think Spite might be too, but we do have Sinder as well to go and look at as well.
The Rain stuff is several years older, but it goes to Cinder's character, I think.
Thank you, Lady of Darkness. Yeah. I would like it, but apparently the hearts on my side are blocking it, so I have to wait for the chat to move up so I can do that. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Hey, Lady of Darkness.
We're 2 away from hitting that goal.
Oh, nice.
Then you can all give me your money via coffee, because that's where we donate, really. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so...
Hi, Juniper.
So I don't...
Right, let's do this.
At certain points, I am going to have Leona read, because I don't want to blow my voice out. Because that does... I don't talk that much in my life, so it's a risk.
Confirm.
I shouldn't have to say this. I don't text much either, to be fair. Very short. But me putting out this statement is not a call for or an excuse for anyone to turn the situation into a witch hunt. My intention for making a statement is strictly to give myself closure from the events of the past years and clarify how I've been personally affected. I debated if I wanted to even say anything after being asked if I wanted my name in the original document censored, as the situation is much bigger than just my personal experience. However, after finding out how wide and extensive the transgressions were, I feel the need to give clarity on my situation and how I was personally affected. I want to note that others have, that though a majority of the messages are from Red, I find it impossible that he acted solely on his own intentions without Cinder's knowledge or consent, given the extent to which he has represented her publicly and professionally. Hello, Basil. Hello, KM Crafts. I can like that now. There we go. Bosh. So, we did go through this, but we'll do it again. In the first, now these are images that came from Nanolus's original document, in which you will see certain points where the name of, I think, Silverveil may well feature. And hello, Carell. I see you bringing back the goose. I appreciate it. We approve goose. I have untitled goose game. It's good. There are certain things I still like. Silverveil featured in that document right here. Main thing we're looking for: not to take on any brand new model clients and to not make any new models with Silverveil again. Okay, and this is because they believe, Red and Sinder, that by Nanolus working with other creators, they diminish the impact of Nanolus's work for Sinder. Which I couldn't disagree with more. Hi, Victoria. Hope you're well. I couldn't disagree with this at all. I think it's an absolutely outdated idea. I still don't like the language of mama and babies being used. And I had a donation.
New donation from Lady of Darkness.
Lady of Darkness, thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. 42%, guys.
Sweet of you.
Only 42 to go. I know, it's so far. In the end, it doesn't matter. Go on.
I will add in with Nano, I've actually seen their work. They do very distinctly different. I mean, yes, of course you can tell it's done by the same artist, but there's a lot of differences. So this antiquated stupidity, and I'm going to say stupidity of depreciates bull.
Yeah.
Because everything is individual.
Yeah.
And catered individually to the people commissioning this stuff.
Donation from Kimmer.
Hang on.
I can understand
Thanks for the
an
donation,
artist.
Kimmy.
Oh, thank you.
Kimmy.
But I lost my train. I turned into you.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I know, right? But this is it's just, the stupidity of it, and yeah, you shouldn't want to do this to your artist. I remember what I was gonna say.
Go on.
When you're a bigger creator using an artist, I can understand that artist saying, hey, I'm having trouble getting commissions because people think I just work for you or whatever. Can you not list me, maybe?
If you're kept on a definitive retainer, then you're an exclusive deal. I see no issue with that.
Yeah.
But you're not, because here you have, if we wanted to have some kind of model exclusivity, what would you need to make that sustainable? But they never offered an exclusivity deal. They'd only said they'd throw extra work her way. That's not a guarantee of exclusivity. That's you saying, oh, if you get offers and you prove you got the offers, then yeah, totally, we're there for you.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I don't care for it. All artists that have worked for me have worked for anyone else. I don't care. I'm just not that guy. I don't know why anyone else wants to be this. I watch real anime, and this VTube junk, real people aren't hurt because of anime. Victoria, I have no idea what you just said, but I agree. Michael Douglas, it's dumb, but it was solely used as a manipulation. I agree it was, Michael. 100%. Your donation did indeed, KM Cross, turn into a distraction, and I'm okay with that. Distract more. That's all I have to say. But as this goes on, you see we have another name. A number, sorry. We can pay blank for you, right? I assume, don't work with Bal, blank, or Silver. Isn't blank like Lily or something? Shy Lily or something?
It might be. I'm not
We'll
sure.
get there soon. But this is important because they're poisoning the well, as I said in the first stream, yeah? And that poison, it's such a... I've used it so many times, yet it is such a blatant tactic. Gaslighting is the one that's also doing its rounds a lot now. And I don't understand how people can be this stupid, to be so willing and willful to participate in such dumb activities.
Ego.
But it is.
That's what I'm with this redacted red person. It comes across that their ego is so large they can't comprehend people not agreeing with them.
I would love nothing more than to be more successful than I am. But I would never want to be there if it meant compromising on who I'd like to believe I am. Right? An introvert, don't touch me, asexual Amish eunuch, of course. Like, as long as I don't lose who I am, then I think, I think that's okay. Chadwick, speculation about the cat. Yes, I think I saw yours and many others who believe the cat was sat on no longer with us. I don't know if it might have been somebody else actually, but we're not doing ALR today, so do forgive Chadwick if I don't go into that more, because I'll be distracted. Which documents do you have left? We have Silverveil, Spite, Rain, and Cinder's apology. Cinder's apology is 7 pages, and we will get to this bloody apology. We will get to it because we're not going to dawdle on this. Go on.
I was just going to say before we go too far, thank you guys for being here. It would be lovely if you could please share his live stream link around to any Discords you're in, Twitter, wherever. Please pimp our guy out. Thank you.
What?
Okay, continue.
Sup, Ella? Hi, droid.
Ella, hey. Hey, sweetie.
Anyway, yes.
How you doing?
So basically, as we see this going on, we see Silver's name mentioned multiple times. This is them read like, is this about Silver's model? I don't want to disrespect Cinder. I want to do pretty models, no hurt feelings. Business is business. You're a freelance artist. Silver's a long-time client. Makes sense to continue doing work for her. End of the day, you do what's best for you. Now, this is a manipulation 101. You're trying to break them down, and you know they're easy enough to break down. No offense to nanolus, but if you can tell someone's got a weakness, you're going to hit it. Oh, intentionally losing the cat. Sorry, I may not have seen it. I do apologise. Thank you for reminding me. I'll be sure to check that so I don't get anything wrong in the future. Oh, thank you, Ella.
I'll make a note, Chadwick. Oh, Ella, you're so sweet, Chadwick. I'll make a note for him to make sure to look at the comments.
Yes, please do. Thank you, Ella, for the super chat. I really appreciate your kind comments. Haven't seen you on the internet much recently, so of course, if you'd like to get back to whatever it is you do, please do. Thank you. We shall pimp Meg to an army of geese. You absolutely should. Now, I feel bad for any creator that has been featured in these DMs where they've basically been, I'm not overly fond of sharing DMs like this. I'm really not, but I understand at the same time why this has happened.
Yeah.
Because Nanolus is being manipulated into being an exclusive without a deal. That's all it is, right? But then if they only are that, then what will happen is over time, more creators won't want to work with Nano, because what's the point? They're not going to say yes, and they'll just do more work for Sinder. But Cinder's hedging the bets here that their continued growth will be sustainable. If Leona wants to go and pull up Cinder's social blade for YouTube and for Twitch,
yeah, I'll get it.
Yeah, she can tell us how many more subs she's lost since, or followers since then. I can't imagine it'll be too much more, but I can still see a fairly sizable amount of people leaving, and that's a lot of viewership and that's a lot of money gone. That's not a good look. We've seen people of late. I saw like Hassan Piker over his debate with Ethan Klein. He's lost subs on Twitch.
Yeah.
They've outright said they're leaving him. People, if you do make a mistake, they're gonna hammer you for it. Hi Mark, hope you're well. Boost in all the usual ways. It's all that matters. But yes, I can't imagine anyone seeing their names brought up in these documents you see on these images in these Discord messages. I can't imagine it makes you feel great. It's going to be a knock to your confidence, and it's going to hurt to know people you respected, even like from a distance, treat you as if you are the enemy, thine enemy. You are to the English the French. That's what you are. You are absolutely. You're absolutely. That's what you are. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm having a little trouble finding them on Social Blade. Give me just a second. And hi, Sky.
That's all right. Take your time. No hurry. But I'm going to
Is
carry
the name just Sinder?
Yeah.
Is it just Sinder?
Yeah.
On everything? Okay.
Yeah. Sinder. Sinder.
Okay.
It should pop up as a drop down because Social Blade changed the website recently.
Ah, okay. Because I'm getting like Night Cinder or Night Cider.
Fair enough. Doesn't
which
matter.
I think the chat told us last time that they don't have a YouTube.
They do. I pulled it up last time.
Yeah, you did.
I pulled it up. Don't try me.
But on YouTube, because I could have swore they said they didn't have a YouTube.
I could have sworn well, Twitch. Check Twitch then. Anyway, I'll carry on with the document. So we're going to go through to page 2. We're going to go down a bit here because I want to get some of what they say. Right. Silverveil. I am VTuber 1 in the screenshots provided by Nano in her document. I've been a friend and client of Nano for years, and seeing how she was manipulated and ABUSED'd by Sinder and Red makes me livid. So I know I've read this now. I recognise that line.
Okay.
She's an absolute sweetheart and just wants her clients to be happy. It breaks my heart to see how she was treated like a tool and resource. And I hate this for anyone who makes a name and be a good artist, and then they're being broken down by anyone else because they're nice and lovely. They do the job, and what's happened? They're instead being treated as if they should just, do something for one person, but they're just an artist trying to enjoy themselves, right? And I don't like that. I'm so proud of Nano for having the courage to come forward to the affected people with all of this, and let everyone know they are being unknowingly sabotaged. I've spoken. It's not very good sabotage, I should just say, because, well, no one's views were impacted that badly, so it was kind of a weak one. And if anything, what they've done is a self-sabotage. That's all they've done. They've just harmed themselves, and that's it. I'm pretty sure I have seen the YouTube side. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll bring back here.
I got it. Look in the tab. I've got the YouTube coming up right now.
Oh, that's all right. I've already gone to. I've literally just gone over to Social Blade and just grab it because it takes.
I was gonna say I have it. It's right there in the tab.
Yeah, they've lost a further 4,000 subscribers since I last looked at them. Is it this one? Yeah, this one. Further 4,000 subs. Their views are still, because of the drama, fairly consistently high. So I doubt they're going to be too bad. 1.8 million in the last 14 days. 3.5 for the month million views. I can't even get more than 200k in a month in views. I'm jealous and I'm not at the same time. Okay? Yeah. They haven't made a new video in close to 2 weeks now. 10 days anyway. So close to. So if we change for Twitch,
let's see,
and go Sinder.
Finzay Twitch 9 days ago.
Yeah,
I think was their last broadcast.
We get ads, man. Yeah, they've lost in 30 days nearly 30,000 followers. Anyone loses that many, I can't. I've only got like 3,800 followers. If I lost 29,000, I would owe Twitch followers. I can't afford that. Anyway, just wanted to highlight it. Thank you for getting the links. Codename, hi. Nano isn't as innocent as they because they're older dramas. That's fair. There's always going to be other things we're involved in that makes us look bad. So I like to focus on the one instance with them involved. In this instance, they are innocent in this, not perhaps in other things. But you are right, codename administrator, to highlight that no one's truly innocent of anything.
Yeah.
Ew. Sinder and I, discovering that all this was going on behind the scenes has been gut-wrenching. I didn't know Sinder, we weren't friends, we have barely talked. Even writing this, I do not understand what I could possibly have done to warrant the level of malice and cruelty shown. In our private interactions, I was as cordial as possible, but I just wasn't interested in associating with her professionally or being her friend. That's fair, by the way, be friends with whoever you want. And then she mentions the TwitchCon thing, which now I know definitively I've read this, because that picture was the giveaway.
Yeah, I remember that.
Complete lack of fluffy tail, though. Got the ears, where's the tail? Must have been tucked between your legs. What a shame.
You're concerning me.
Hey, look, if you're going to put wolfy ears on, at least commit to the bit.
At least commit to it? Okay.
Honestly, why bother otherwise? Although, why go to this to begin with? So, I was wrapping up, she walked directly to the screen to meet me and had someone else take a picture of us together. I was not informed of this picture or asked permission for it, and only knew about it once I saw it on Twitter later on. This was taken on 20th of October 2023, so 2 years before some of these DMs, which is like mid-January 2025. Some of these, and some go back to 2023 as well. So it could take the rejection. I could believe that, by the way, Osprey. I really could. You read the silveveil at the end of the line. Yeah, I know. I figured I had, but we're going to go back to it just for a refresher. I'm not going to read all of this because it's only 12 pages anyway. We're going to go to these bits rather than this because we don't need. We've got the images on the screen. You can read them if you need to, but I'm going to read this that was written by Silverveil.
Hey T.
Sup? After the meet and greet, she contacted my manager at Mythic to ask me to collab with her. I told them I'd rather not collab, but accept her friend request on Discord after turning her down. In private DMs, she reached out and asked me to do merch or another various form of collab to be monetized, which I again declined. I will always prioritize my mental health and peace over any potential profit that could make me feel used transactionally and put me out of my comfort zone. Now, the thing with YouTube as a eco space, and it's all well and good having integrity, I take no issue with that. The majority of creators work with each other because they need each other to grow. There's nothing wrong with that. I've collaborated with people to help them grow, which didn't work, and I've collaborated with other creators to grow, which also didn't work because YouTube hate people growing. No lie, that VTuber avatar, man, it's so overly sexualized.
Stop dwelling on the avatar. Stop it.
I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But you know what?
I will say real quick with Silverveil and Bao, I did a little bit of research. I was going to do more, didn't have time. From what I've been told, especially Silverveil and Bao, they apparently, in chat, if they're familiar with these people, can correct me if I'm wrong, but what I've been told is they don't get involved in stuff. Dramas and all that stuff. They kind of don't do that.
That's
the
fair.
fact that they have come out and made docs and talked about this stuff is actually a big deal in the VTuber
Well, it must be
community.
big. It must be big to them to see them thrown under the buses like they have been.
Oh, and Duke, hi, it's Wildling. How are you? Also Leona, whichever you want to call me.
Hi Ola. Hi Miss Fortune. Hello everyone that's joined
Hey,
us today.
Ola.
We really appreciate it. I'm totally. I have no issue, by the way, with anyone not wanting to be involved in anything. That's totally fine. I don't like working with creators these days. I learnt my lesson, and I can understand others learning that lesson and just not bothering and doing their own thing. And if you create your own success and you don't need to work with other people, that's even better, really, because then you know you're self-made. You know you're not having to rely on others to prop yourself up, right? And that's totally fine. Disliking drama, again, nothing wrong with that either. Hello, German. But yeah, that's the point of many creators. I just don't want to, and being involved in drama is not great. If you're involved in it, if you're a part of it, it's horrible. But that's actually something Nanolus made it a point to redact all the names. Because then no one can say, Nano was throwing this person under the bus. Or no, they respectively did not throw anyone under the bus without permission. They didn't. Obviously, in this instance, that can be, if you're pedantic, you'll say, but Sinder and Red doesn't count. Don't try me. Don't be that bitch. If you do, you're a bitch. A big fat bitch. The biggest bitch in the whole wide world. If I had a new live 2D model in the works for my birth, a new live 2D model in the works for my birthday, with Nano, which was eventually cancelled. I was devastated, as Nano was the one who originally asked if they could do this model because she was excited to make it with all the new things she had learned, and my birthday was special. I don't know how, but alright. At the time, maybe it was 21st. At the time, the reason given was health and stress reasons, which made sense given how much was on Nano's plate, and despite my disappointment, expressed my support for her prioritising her health. I am now aware that the actual reason for her declining to work with me on my actual birthday model was external pressure from Red and Sinder. Words cannot describe how heartbroken I was, and included is an image. Yes, this is the pressure put on, proof of the pressure, because, proof of the pressure's here, but this is the message of not being able to do the work because of health issues. Yeah. You got and revealed eventually and still blanked. Yeah, that's it. I like that, by the way. It's a very respectful thing to do. Less than 50% likes. I know, guys. Osprey. I know. I'm actually sick by people.
Please like. It'll make him feel better.
Yeah.
Which, do we know Nano's age?
I don't know. I'm assuming. I'm assuming over the age of 12.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, so, I didn't think much at the time, but Sinder messaged me on Discord right before my model was cancelled. She celebrated that we shared art, despite the fact that at the same time she and Red were actively working to take potential for more away. So you got here Sinder talking about Nano's art, merch stuff. I mean, okay, so... Yeah, it's very much a I'm going to dab on you for no reason kind of moment situation type deal. Where all you had to do was not say that. If you just didn't, there would be no suspicion. But then you're such an egotist, you had to do it. How rude is that? Because the timing is just really bad, isn't it? Because this is on the 15th of the 11th. These messages here are the 25th of the 11th. It was only 4 days later that another project was finished for them anyway. Because they pressured somebody else and they were talking shit about them. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I was reading the chat, and I realised I can't read because I'm illiterate. So,
you need me to read it?
No. Moving forward, Sinder and Red have spent years sabotaging me for no understandable reason, which is true. It doesn't make any sense. I've never done anything to warrant this, other than just existing as silveveil. They actively sought to get my models and art cancelled, and based on the messages I have seen and shared above, seem to, and I've inserted the commas for you, you're welcome, seem to have not had any second thoughts about doing so. It's hard to express how crushing a feeling it is to be talked about so cruelly and maliciously without my knowing, and to know opportunities and friendships were taken away for what I can only assume is spite and insecurity, jealousy. There is no end to the amount of anxiety I feel, knowing that if these rumours are expressed to Nano, I have to assume they are expressed to others as well. I hope this document and evidence presented will convince you I am not the person that Sinder and Red tried to convince people I am. Blah blah blah, thank you. What else is there to say about this one? Oh, right, the chat. That's the problem I have a little bit with this. That the method that they revealed all this at once really made it look like a witch hunt. Yes, they say they won't want witch... Yeah, there's something sus about it, I'll agree, because it was all very quickly done. You are right. But I'm not going to delve too much into that side. I'm just going to read. We're going to go through what was presented as the timeline goes. This isn't me trying to understand it better because I'm too stupid.
Stop.
Shh. Let me be stupid for a change. So, Spite put out a, and I don't know who this is either, but it says VTuber in their Twitter handle, so I'm assuming they're a VTuber. They're a Serba Pup waifu.
Right. I want to say I think they're an editor as well. Hold on, let me check the tab.
And they're followed by John Cena. I knew it. He follows anyone, but not me. Right, this document is 8 pages.
No, sorry. Right.
8 pages.
Sack, not Spite.
8 pages, and we have a few images on here of interest of art. So this could be interesting, I think. And you could read it. Aloud.
Hold on, let me blow it up. Aloud. Let me blow it up where I can see it.
I'll zoom in, don't worry. Hang on. There you go.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Let's see. I want to start by saying, please do not send any hate to anyone involved in this.
All the hate.
I only wish to speak about my experiences and give more clarity on those experiences. First and foremost, my love and admiration goes out to Nanolus for having the courage to bring this to light. Artists are the backbone of our community, and taking advantage of her good-willed personality is saddening to see. I want to take the time to address what has been brought to light involving myself and what I've experienced over the years that coincide with these events. In this screenshot, the VTuber that is being talked about is very clearly me. Since the beginning of my VTuber journey, it has been written in my backstory and lore that I'm the daughter of Cerberus. And through an unseen summoning mishap, the Greek goddess Hecate, oh god, it's their backstory, it's their lore.
Hecate.
As many may...
Cerberus is a three-headed dog.
Cerberus, yeah, I know who that is.
Oh.
As many may know, Cerberus is a species of
no, Carol, I'm not
hellhound,
sharing
and...
snacks. Hi,
And I've always I've always incorporated the number 3 in my designs to follow the 3 heads of Cerberus. And by the way, everyone in chat, I have a difficulty pronouncing some words, so please be kind to me.
American.
Or at least not too mean. In my early design, and many artists are still learning new model rigging techniques, I had opted for 2 other wolf heads on my shoulders as... I can't read that word. Palindrons?
Pauldrons, they're the shoulders. Pauldrons.
Okay. To symbolically represent my other 2 heads. However, the repeated comments of, if you're a Cerberus, where are your other 2 heads, had pushed me to use the broader term hellhound at the time. Fast forward 2 months to a year into my journey, and I started to receive harassment and berating comments and chat messages on Twitch and YouTube videos comparing me to Sinder and putting me down for being a hellhound. Making the definitive switch to the Cerberus label, though, brought me a sense of relief, because the last thing I wanted was to be constantly compared or harassed at this point. I didn't want to be associated with her due to all the negativity that was being thrown my way.
What do you think of this?
I think 2 people can have a similar idea at the same time, and it's not copying. It can be independent of each other. These particular type of points for a character design, my particular avatar is based on a lot of old folklore. There's other people with similar attributes that mine has. Some came before me, some came after me. It happens. But if you are a creator that's in the same sphere as someone else, to an extent, depending how big you are, you have to know this kind of stuff is happening. And I do think larger creators have a responsibility to say, hey, y'all, don't hate on this person. This stuff happens. Let's move on. And that's it. But at the same time, you aren't, as a creator, responsible for your audience's actions. But if Sinder took umbrage to this and was causing mess to it, that is, again, insanely toddler-like behavior and ridiculous.
Filthy Animal, thank you so much for the super chat. Yes, I have a buzzball on my desk and I'll be drinking it now. 9 Feline, hi, hope you're well. Hello everyone, thank you for joining everyone. Thank you for hitting the goal, I really appreciate that. If you want to continue to support the channel now, coffee, that's where you want to go. So,
hi Brocky, hey Ying Yang.
While I was eating a Twix, extra large, and listening to the owner because I wasn't reading, my view on this is, everyone, like even I, when I did my avatar, like Leona, hers with hers, mine wasn't necessarily inspired by folklore or anything. It came, yes, the head came from an avatar, from like a HP Lovecraft, but I didn't actually get it from that. I got it from a ski mask. Mine was, the inspiration doesn't come from Cthulhu. No, it came from a knitted ski mask that I still have. That's all it was. You know, I wanted to get, and I went with the body because everyone else had bodies with something on, right?
Yeah.
But everyone is very protective of what means a lot to them, right? And that's fine. It's 100, and not wanting to be considered like others. I honestly, I get that, because I don't didn't like being compared. I've never liked being compared to others, and I have been in the past. But it's not an issue. I don't work with those creators, so I don't really care too much. But well, they won't work. They wouldn't work with me anyway. They were too big. But it's just it doesn't matter. But it's just the fact that, you know, sometimes you just don't want to work with other people. And then another thing of interest. So I've gotten comments about comparisons between myself and others, but this particular person, Spite, has mentioned harassment, berating on Twitch and in YouTube, and comparisons to Sinder, right? And then putting someone down for their backstory. Now, that to me speaks levels about, you know, it speaks levels about the level of like poison that the individual that goes to your chat is like. It doesn't mean the person has sent you there. Just to be clear, I don't think Cinder actively went, yo, by the way, guys, go there and harass them. No, I don't think it did, because we'd known about this sooner if that was the case. I don't think that's happened. I'm going to say it definitively, I don't believe that happened. Because you can speculate all you like, but without proof, it's just a no. You can't say possibly either. It's just made up at that point. I think in this,
no, I own that. It's just my opinion. Yeah.
I think in this, it's just down to people being very thin-skinned and just thinking, oh well, you Spite are now encroaching upon Cinder, so I must protect. Fine, whatever. SF creators are only responsible for audiences and for they're not. Yes, I agree with you. And that's why in my videos when I start, there's a fair use disclaimer just after the intro. In there, actively states do not harass people, because I will not allow it. If I find you've done it, I'll ban you. I don't ban people, I will ban you. But continuing, because Leona needs to read in a minute.
Well, one more thing is, like, I don't quite understand it personally.
Sips the drink.
The going to other people's channels and harassing them because this is a creator you like. I've never done that. I don't understand that.
I trust your treasure.
But anyway. Hi.
Oh, and Yempy, which one?
Hi, everybody who's come in.
If you're referring to the Twix, it was just the standard Twix Extra, which is a little bit is longer, thicker, harder. Well, fills your mouth better.
Stop.
Really good ending to it too. Real mouthful. If you let the caramel warm up, it gets real gooey too. So I'll read this little part here. The message here.
Okay.
Then, like a month later, unfollowed her on Twitter, and I started taking her ideas, Cinder's ideas, like the flames. And now she's basically rebranded to more of a fire Cerberus, using fire emojis all the time. Shake my head. Never did that before. Sorry, before. It's funny because she used to call herself a hellhound, but stopped when Cinder grew past her, and now uses Cerberus or Cerber Pup or whatever her lore says she is. I don't know. I like that some of these people, you create this thing for you. Buzzball is still the strawberry Rita from last night, because I put a cover over it to protect it so I can continue consuming this despicable beverage. I'm not opening a new one to do that Amber stream. Right, anyway, people create lore for their character, that's fine. Yeah, everyone does it, everyone has done it, everyone's thought about it. But the moment someone else does it and you look down when they make changes, you roll your eyes at it. That's what Red is doing here. They're like, they're changing it. Nah. Right, okay.
No, so I think your avatar in your lore story can evolve over time.
Yeah, it can. Nanolus, sorry. The unfollow is weird. It is. Red, yeah, so it's like there was also unprovoked tweets from her like, I didn't copy anyone else for my design. My design is all me. This is who I am. You notice the inflection I'm doing there? Like, huh? Who are you saying that to? Lol. On random Cinder clips on YouTube. There was one dedicated blank fan, or someone she knew, I don't know, that would comment on these clips like saying like, when are you going to clip blank? Only on Cinder clips. You're welcome. I can't do that all stream, that's a pain in the ass. I'd rather do the aggression voice the entire stream.
I know.
Your turn.
Alright. As for the claims of unfollowing her and taking her ideas, I debuted my 2.0 live 2D model May 14th, 2022, and on the same day, I can't do the deep voice.
I'll do it for you, it's fine, I'll do it, it's fine.
Okay, on the, go say it.
You said the wrong word.
oh God in heaven, decided to post her debut announcement for her 1.0 live 2D model. Leading up to this time, I didn't know who Sinder was at all. I had no idea she had fire in her ears or she was another hellhound. The creator space is broad, and I still stumble across creators larger than myself that I had not heard of before. I never once stole her ideas. All I ever want is to try to be unique in my own way, so these claims that I was following her and then unfollowing her and stealing her ideas are absolutely baseless and uncalled for.
Okay. The tweet. Spite. Attention, now that my account isn't restricted, I can repost this. I'm dragging you down to the underworld on May the 14th for my new model reveal debut. And then that's from May 3rd, 2022. Sinder on May 14th, 2022. June, new model debut as well. So the timing of that is a bit... I think that's highlighting the flames in the ears. Should just point out here that Spites came out a month earlier, but okay. Well, go on.
I was just going to... Can I just say, who gives a shit? Unless they're completely 100% copying your stuff. Who cares?
Apparently they do.
Apparently.
I don't quite understand it myself, but it's not my place to care. I just, crack on and...
Well, it's like you said before, I put a lot of thought into my avatar. I mean, it took me a while to figure out what I wanted. And as you said, I get being proud of it and even a little territorial about it to an extent. And we all bitch behind the scenes. I don't have a problem with that, really. It's the sabotaging crap. Shut up. It's the sabotaging stuff I have more of a problem with. But anyway, let's carry on.
Yes, we'll carry on. By the way, these images look lovely. They really do. I mean, it's meant to be my kind of may not be my area of internet VTuber. It's not my area at all. But the images look fantastic. They're very clever. I would just go into paint.net and colour mine in black so no one could see. That's all I would do. I wouldn't bother doing a partial reveal. No, I'd just colour it black so you got a silhouette.
I think you did that one time.
Yeah, I did. I couldn't be asked to do anything else. Your turn.
All right, hang on just a second. Let me clear my throat.
Okay. Well, while she's busy getting the Twix out of her mouth.
All right, I'm back. All right, her posting her debut announcement trailer the same day as my 2.0 debut seemed off, but I shrugged it off as a coincidence, winky dink, because things happen. However, this wasn't the last time there had been multiple times where same day or shortly after.
Leona,
I was made aware.
No, stop. You're cutting out every 4 words.
Crap. Hold on, let me switch the mic.
Okay.
Okay, how's that? That better?
Better.
Okay, and the mic's actually into the computer now, so I shouldn't have that issue again. Okay, should I start from the beginning again?
Please.
All right. Her posting her debut announcement trailer the same day as my 2.0 debut seemed off, but I shrugged it off as a coincidence, quinky dink, because things happen. However, this wasn't the last time something... And either the same day, the last time something like this had happened, there has been multiple times that I have done something, and either the same day or short.
Okay, stop.
I was made aware.
Stop. No, I'm going to have to read it, I'm afraid.
Am I cutting out again?
You were, yeah. It's only when you're reading you're cutting out. I don't know what the hell happened there. You were cutting out every 5 to 6 words that time. All right, I'll do it. It's fine. We'll hopefully it'll fix itself because that was silly. Not your fault, by the way. We know it's not Leona's fault. Let's read the chat quickly. They believe their own idea I believe they owned every idea. That's that's gatekeeping. I don't care for it. What the hell? I didn't know you were live this early. Well, I wasn't meant to be, but Leona and I have something to do this evening anyway, work related. So I can't be on here later. I used to charge new power banks and do some other bits and bobs. So earlier seemed to make sense to me in my head. So her posting a debut announcement trailer the same day as my 2.0 debut seemed off, but I shrugged it off as a coincidence because things happen. However, this wasn't the last time something like this had happened. There had been several times where I had done something and either the same day or shortly after I was made aware or had discovered later that something similar had been posted, making me feel like I was being watched constantly. I tried my best to believe that it was coincidental and not ill intent on their part, and I'm going to just state for my own personal belief, couldn't care less what others do. Hi, Buglove. If anyone wants to make their own avatar and announce it just after me, I really don't care. Do you know why? Because I don't get any traction on my announcements. It means nothing. Unless I need to ask people to help me pay for a vet bill that I get caught out on, it's not happening, okay? Just no. It just doesn't happen, alright? That's just the reality, okay? I'm not saying this is a slight criticism to Spike in that respect. I fully understand this document, by the way, just to be clear, because we want to air what feels slightly off to us. Never allow yourself to be somewhat controlled or to feel like you're being watched. Don't allow those negative thoughts. Just let them do their thing, because you'll succeed at what you do without that there. You don't need them, and that negativity will only seek to blind you. Anything you want to say?
Hopefully I have the mic issues fixed. I am very sorry about that, everyone. I thought I didn't care for.
Oh, I was supposed to.
As for the slight hum, that's his power bank. We can't do anything about it. I'm very sorry.
I was supposed to fix it, but I was out all day today, so I didn't. I literally.
I thought you had.
I got to the computer 3 minutes before I started streaming. I literally had to rush up to the cabin, turn everything on, and then message the owner, and then start the stream because he had a street party today. I was outside all day harassing children. Because that was my.
We both had issues today.
It was my uncle duty to be a good uncle and bully kids.
Yes.
So that's
of course.
I've literally done that all day. No, I got my steps in. Yeah. I'm only on a paltry 29,521 today. Okay. I had a double. I had a double cheeseburger, 2 hot dogs, and I've drunk a can of Desperados. I'm a happy chappy. I don't give a shit. Okay. As long as I don't put on weight, I don't care. Right. There were many times where I designed a new outfit that I was really excited for, but afterwards Sinder will release outfits or models with similarities to it. And I'm assuming they have different artists, by the way. Right. I didn't think much of it at first because it's normal to have some similarities or shared inspirations with other creators. The VTubing community is a huge space, as I've been told, and similarities are normal. Yes, because I think they all look the same anyway. I'm not speaking to whether my designs were taken as direct references. You know what I was supposed to do? I was supposed to have switched my Shure mic with the Yeti X. That's what I was going to do. I was just going to plug in the Yeti's right on my desk here. I might do that and see if people like it.
You want to switch? Go ahead and switch and
you talk and I'll get
okay. All right. Yes, sorry for the technical difficulties. We do try, but we're not professionals, contrary to what others may think. We just bumble through and do the best we can. I hope you can hear me okay, and I hope you don't.
You're blanking out every 4 or 5 words again.
Oh, I am hardlined into the damn laptop!
Yeah, most of what you just said then went as well. I don't know what's happened there. Do give me like 20 seconds. I'm going to unplug my microphone.
This is absolutely ridiculous, and congratulations, you are all allowed a wildling rage. I will own rage. This is pissing me off.
Yeti,
if you can hear me, hopefully it is not cutting out too much.
Hang on.
I know, Broccoli, it wouldn't be an Omegon stream without some type of difficulty between him or me.
She can't hear me at the moment. Give me a second.
Shirk.
There we are, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
No, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Who's that? Right, anyway.
Shut your face!
Hopefully this is a bit better. I've plugged my Yeti X in. I was meant to use this for streaming because then you can't hear everything else. Hope this is better. If it's not, suck it. Right, drag my audio down slightly. Okay, continuing. Okay. I'm not speaking to whether my designs... Right. I'm addressing the need for the unprovoked tweets mentioned in the screenshot above and showing that I made the statements to make it clear that I was not stealing their ideas, how I can copy something that was released, teased, revealed after my own. That's an important point because the first thing I noticed was the date. Spite, May 3rd. Sinder, May 14th. Right? Why is it worse? Wait, what?
Maybe turn your gain down slightly.
Treasure, shut the fuck up. No.
My auto suppression? I don't even know how to check that, Michael. I appreciate the
Thank you for this.
Question.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
As long as it sounds a bit better, that's all that matters to me. I had 3 minutes to set up. I really didn't have time today. I do apologise. Continuing though, and I don't care what anyone says now. Hi, Laura. Smash the like.
Hi, Laura.
Her posting a debut. Her posting a debut announcement trailer the same day as my 2.0 debut seemed off. Hang on, wait, have I already read that? No, it's different.
Already read that.
Yeah, sorry, I scrolled up, didn't I? Right, okay. On July 20th, 2022, Maui Live. Is that it? Whatever. My model artist. I'm not saying that word. Mummy. No. And I worked on a comfy goth girl outfit. It's always the fad. I had ripped in my t-shirt a G-string, shorts, and spiked wrist cuffs, because that's goth. Why is it like as a crystal blue dick there? You know, it's my post. I received many negative comments about my design from people assuming that I copied her when I debuted it 2 weeks before hers. I got called off-brand Sinder, and just a bunch of horrible things happened. Okay, so this is again where I meant, in the past, I've gotten this accusation about Trash to Treasure, unlike it. Engagement is good. Give me your
engagement is engagement.
I've got comparisons to the Right Opinion in the past. I have.
Yeah.
And I've laughed at it because I don't really care. I've been on the platform as a commentator long before the Right Opinion. Right? The Right Opinion used to be a Rocket League player. But I got the comparisons and I didn't care. All right? To you, Spite, I would say the same. You need to stop caring. Now, you have again provided receipts here that you've got, well, a few months between. Like, you've got 2 months, basically, between Sinder providing an update that you've already done for yourself, right? I really don't care for the... You know what? I'm not going to go there. I discovered this merchandise that she used for Uwu Market and had to do a double take because of the grey-blue skin tone used in the art. Several people thought it was me, and the similarities for this speak for themselves, I feel. Now, let's have a look. This here is Sprite. Is that it? Is that the word? I don't know. Avatar,
Right?
profile.
I think, I'm not sure.
Whatever. This image is for Spite. Okay. Go down. This one's apparently Sinder. This one looks more like Spite because Sinder has the lighter highlights and the fire. This one is more ice flame. So it does feel like
Spite, isn't it? That one's Spite.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, hang on. Merchandise she used for Uwu Market. So I assume this was on the Uwu Market. That's what I'm assuming. I'm assuming this is
Spite was blue and Cinder's always orange.
That's why I'm saying here that what's written here. Discovered merchandise she used because of the blue-grey tone skin tone used in the art. Several people thought it was me. So this must be Sinder.
Oh, okay.
That's why
that is kind of fucked up.
That does feel like it's called an avatar. I know it is. I say avatar. It just this sounds like that Sniper did to the other YouTuber. Yeah, I honestly Orla Sniper was a pile of crap anyway, who stole content and made millions off it. Yeah, no, this is an avatar. It looks like a poster, doesn't it? I got asked years ago if I ever wanted to make your next buzzball taste even worse. Well, I've got Tequila Rita and Choco Teas, Choc Teas, and I don't want to do either. But well, if we smash that Norwich trip goal, of course, I have no choice. Hello, everyone that's joined. By the way, hope you're on a marvelous day today. Is the new off-brand Sinder Oregon? Oh, we're going with that, are we? Undoomed used to call me Oregon. Right. Anyway, on the 29th of April, 2024. I designed a Greek goddess outfit on stream. I am a Cerberus VTuber, so it fits my lore completely. I did some readings of Greek mythology. Yes, moist. I mentioned that I may or may not get a future Greek goddess outfit. Why don't you do... I have a better idea for you, Spite. Do a Greek yogurt outfit, because it fits my branding. About 4 months ago, Sinder debuted a Heaven Okami-inspired outfit. I don't know what any of those words mean. Hi, K-Shell. Which that was white and gold, resembling a Greek goddess. In the background for debut, she also included Greek columns. At this point, I felt like nothing I could come up with would even be slightly original to me. Now, what you have on your side here, Spite, is that you mentioned here designing it on stream. Like, you designed it on stream, the Greek goddess outfit. That's great, by the way. I get ideas for outfits all the time, and I normally go with things from pop culture, and then I just find a way to add the word moist to it.
You're disgusting.
Well, it was like instead of Homelander, it's Moistlander. instead of Mace Windu, it's a Moist Windu. Right? Obviously, in the case of the Aquaman thing, it was Aquameg or Aqua Moist. I want to do a Thunderbird one next and call him Thunder Moist.
Of course you do.
Because Thunder Moist.
You ain't help.
Anyway, as you can see here, in the images included, you have Smite's avatar in the outfit they mention. Cool. I mean, it's not, again, this art style's not for me. I'm going to be open about that, so I don't fully understand it. But that's what it is. And then underneath you have Cinder's debuted, what was the word again? Heaven Okami inspired outfit. This one here. With the columns, so where the plagiarism might sort of lean in a bit is the fact that the columns to the other side give off the appearance of being like the top of Olympus. Yeah. It gives off the impression of Zeus being nearby, kind of thing. Molten situation type deal. Yeah. Moist mildew. Oh, that's not bad. Do screen back.
I actually like that one. I like that one.
If only I went with that instead of Moist Windu, because I don't like Star Wars, but I thought it was fun enough to do it. Yeah. But that was it was in like Imperial Guards Moist. Anyway, the comparisons to these are quite distinct. Like it does look a bit more blatant with the gold and the white, and then the gold and the white here as well. It really does. So I kind of get the point. I would say, for the sake of it, I do think that they have a point, Spike. That is, I don't think they should care enough. I really don't, because again, they may well be more popular. Who cares? You have the receipts to say you did it first, so people want to bring it your way. Just clarify it. And if people keep doing it, okay, ignore them. It's not difficult. Wait until I become a VTuber, honestly. I wait to be cancelled by you. Competition would change a successful idea 5% and claim it as their own. That's true, actually, Osprey. That's typically how it goes. In this case, I do think that in this, I'm not entirely convinced Cinder changed much at all, but 5% could be a charitable number we could award here. I think the big separator is that in this background, this image being made with no background, and this image being done with a very distinctive background. On April 20th, 2024, I debuted my new model from my new model avatar artist, REVT. I got a hoodie with a cute design on top. I had side bangs covering my eyes. On April 4th, 2025, Cinder debuted a sports hoodie with side bangs covering her eyes similar to mine. And here is the proof of that. Basically, we call that hairdo emo. Why is it, though, on the right, the breasts look slightly real?
You're looking at a cartoon's boobies.
Because it looks slightly more realistic, like on the cleavage side. That looks like someone's put way too much time on the colouring, and they've actually gone and found the exact colour to create the shadow. It's such a strange thing. Moist Maverick. I love that. I do like Top Gun. My avatar would just wear Ray-Bans, though. I have overalls
Mr. Gamer, the VTubing community not crediting model riggers, stealing them would be considered a war crime. Yeah, a lot of people, when it comes to not crediting, that's a war crime even in the commentary. Hi, right here. Yeah.
I give Just a Robot so much shit for not crediting his avatar artist over the years. I was once called out because accidentally my description is preset to include that information, and it for some reason didn't include it for a few videos, and I was like, nah. I got crap from a friend called Ray, former friend, who told me about it, so I was a hypocrite, and I'm like, what? And I had to go find it, and I went through every single video and they said it was over months, and I'm like, no, we'll fix that. And emo's not the same as goth, I agree, because I get called emo by some wannabe punk prick. I've never had that haircut. I've never worn skinny jeans. I just like music. And I've mentioned bands that happen to fall into that area, but they're not the same. I know that South Park ripped on it as well, because that was that joke in an episode with the goths, wasn't it? and it's just one of those things. In this, I do think there's something a bit sus about how this is going down. It does look.
I
it really
say,
does.
yeah.
It does look a bit sus. And for those who don't know, the punk person was Leona. Yeah, you're welcome. Moist
Whatever you say,
MacGyver.
emo boy.
Sorry, Moist MacGyver. I never watched MacGyver, but I saw a couple episodes of the remake version. I saw a couple episodes of that. I thought it was quite good. Anyway, there are some instances.
You want me to take over trying to read?
Sure, yeah. Actually, I don't know how to. Please do.
See if I cut out this time.
If you donate through coffee, I will have to drink more of my drink. If we hit the goal,
Yes, you will.
I have to finish this piece of crap.
It's in the pinned comment above you in the chat. All right,
Here.
let's see if I cut out this time. There are some instances that I do not have screenshots of. For example, I remember posting about my first ASMR stream. The day that I was supposed to do said stream, Sinder plugged her ASMR channel. I thought it was a bit suspect, but brushed it off.
Stop.
I don't have screenshots of the comments and bullying that I received from her community. There were too many that... Am I cutting out?
Yeah. You're not when we're talking, but you are when you're reading.
Well, how is it? Maybe I need to move. Maybe I need to move the mic a little. Maybe I'm too close and it's cutting it out.
It might be that. I don't know. We had discussed you need a new mic. Perhaps in the future we'll sort that out.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Well, this sucks. The whole point is here to help you to keep from wearing your voice out.
It's fine. What we'll do is later you can do all the talking. So nothing different.
I was about to say, isn't that the same as usual?
Yeah. Anyway, there are some instances I do not have screenshots for. For example, I remember posting my first ASMR stream. That's what Leona just read. I thought it was a bit sus, but brushed it off. I don't have any screenshots of the comments and bullying I received from her community. There were too many that it became too much. It's weird to copy someone, right? And then not be bothered by the fact they're being bullied, but continue to steal from them, make it look like you're stealing from them all the same. And no, I'm not a fuzzball, enjoy a shirk, but I'll happily take your money. I has things to do. I started to and just started ignoring them because I never wanted to save images of their words that hurt me. I didn't even want to read the harassing comments. I just wanted to be left alone and be happy in my own space. I received a DM on the 25th of January 2023. I was buying really nice whiskey that day. I bought a bottle. I was in Norwich. I bought a bottle of the English 15 private Founders Private Cellar Batch Sherry Cask, 15-year-old. Best sherry cask I've ever had in my life. And also, at that point, the most expensive bottle I had ever bought. Until this year. I received a DM. I will not disclose who the sender was without their consent. The sender expressed... Well, was that last year or this year? No, that was a year before. No, hang on, what was the third one? Oh, McCullen, Night on Earth. That's what it was. That wasn't... Oh, that was last year, the English. The sender expressed to me they were getting bullied by Sinder and certain members of Sinder's community because she too had fire in her ears. I never respond. You ever considered using, like, eardrops? Because she too had fire in her ears. I never responded to the DM because I wanted to stay away from drama as much as possible. And I get that because if you start to inject yourself or that, you then have to start saying things. I will say, if people start DMing me because they're getting bullied, I'm not going to reply, but I will to you directly, but I will outright state in my videos, back the fuck off. Not to you, the person, to people being bullied. Am I from Norwich, Osprey? No, I like to go to... I used to go to Norwich. I used to go to university there. I lived there for several years. I need to travel up for something important. I picked up my tickets today. My travel has been paid for.
Okay.
I've already picked up my tickets. I've just got to buy suitable clothing, which will be dealt with ASAP. I'm going to have my sister help me remeasure to make sure I get the right sizes, because I did measure and I think I'm the right size, but I need her just to confirm it, because I'm one of those weird... I'm a bit of an odd... I don't know if I'm doing it right or not, because the way my shoulders sit, it's kind of... Yeah, I don't know how to measure that properly. Anyway, but yeah, I would outright state, in my videos, I will tell those that do it to back off. But I can't do much more than that. I really can't, because it's not my audience bullying, it's those coming from somewhere else. Right, more snacks, yes. I have some Chewits on my desk, but I'm going to refrain from eating them until afterwards. While Leona's talking, I'll just eat them. I need to print out, like, gig tickets, and I need to print out gig tickets, and... invoices and receipts and finish up my tax notes and
Yes.
I will not disclose the sender.
I'm about to drop a tweet that someone just tagged me on Twitter with, that apparently Sinder had their art model before Spite, possibly.
Okay.
I don't say that 100%. No offense to the person who tagged me, but I'm a person who vets stuff before I say with 100% certainty of something. So
Cool.
No offense.
Right, we'll get to that in a minute. I
right.
never respond to DMs because I wanted to stay from drama. Inside image, hey, you popped to my feed, and can I just say, love your design. I had a rather odd question, I supposed. Have you had any messages from the VTuber Sinder regarding your design? This may seem out of nowhere, but I'm only asking because I have made an original character like a while back, and I was accused by her and others of stealing her design because my dog girl had flames in my eardrops, and her and her fans claimed that was exclusive to her design. It was this whole big ordeal on Twitter, so I wondered if anything similar had happened to you yet. I would like to clarify, I myself am not saying your design looks like hers. I was scrolling, saw your totally awesome design. Okay, when I saw the flames near in the ears, I had flashbacks and thought to myself, oh no. So I guess this is just my curiosity getting the best of me. Okay, well, we're on the last page, and it's all text, so yay for me. By the way, I don't accept message requests either, so I do see things, and I don't generally accept it. Because I don't have time to reply to people. And invariably, the vast majority then start to treat me as if I'm some kind of emotional dumping ground, and I don't have time for you.
Yes. No.
I'll happily...
It's inappropriate.
It is. I'll happily listen to people, but there's a limit to how far I'll listen. I'm just very saddened and disappointed in this situation. I had my suspicions about this, but I never wanted to be part of drama, so I kept quiet. I have also seen what happens when creators stand up for themselves and receive major backlash, even if they're in the right, so I never vocalized my concerns. I've always designed my own models. I've gotten inspiration from Cerberus with the chains and spikes, Disney's Hades, and because I call myself Goth GF. Well, that's cute. I was inspired by Sam and Ember from Danny Phantom, plus many other of our goth crushes that we've had growing up. I just focused on myself and my friends. Meanwhile, I had eyes on me the whole time. Knowing that I was being watched and talked poorly about really hurts, especially when they never attempted to interact with me. And that intrigues me, because they could have spoke. But Sinder and Red really do believe themselves above it. What do you think?
I still think this is all ridiculous with a lot of this, but we do have another tweet to look at with apparently some other evidence on it. But just looking at what we have at the moment, I understand maybe being a little upset, because it does on the surface look like so much of this person's ideas for their model have been taken and utilized by somebody else. When it's repetitive, I can understand getting, butthurt about it.
Yeah.
And, if you reach out and the person doesn't respond at all, or respond with anything, workable in the conversation, I get it. I get the butthurt of a lot of these documents, and I don't mean butthurt mean. I just mean I understand being sore about stuff. But I just don't understand why. What does it? I just don't understand why this has to be made. Why does this have to be public?
We just don't understand. It's fine.
Yeah, we're not. This isn't our community. I get that. I just don't understand VTuber stuff.
Well, I don't understand much of it ever. This final paragraph is just nonsense. We don't need this. That tweet, do you have it?
Yes, it's at the bottom of the tab.
Okay. I will quickly pull it up.
I believe it was Codename. I think it was you, Codename. You tagged me. I appreciate that.
I will pull it up now. Non-melodic, thank you so much for the super chat. Living in Japan. Oh, cool. I hope you're having a wonderful time over there. Hello, Decoy Octopus, by the way. So we have here image from Sparky Text Corner, SAC exclusive 2 times with Bao, and this is basically... All right, I'll go to the first tweet. It makes more sense. My commission's April 25th. This is Sacramore TV. Okay, we covered them last time. Her own abilities. I do think there's some insecurities here. How old are these people? Yeah. I assume 12. Bao is stuck with me forever now. After I finish up 2 more commissions for Peeps, I'll be shutting down my comms forever and editing anonymously in-house for Bao. Okay. Then you have this with the Nano and redacted stuff. This is from Nano's document, isn't it? About having an exclusivity deal. Sparky, I know Sparky. Sparky's tweet. Let's try this again. Sacramore has gone exclusive 2 times with Bao, which is the screenshots. Reference as well. First time we've ever seen exclusive being brought up by Red, but Sac has done this in April of 2024. Also, there is way too much BS in this whole deal. Possibly, yes. In the second tweet, I found that Sinder had her art for her model before Spite. So, Liga on the 28th, I'm going to go grab receipts because I see the replies you're leaving. Spite's design at least predates Cinder's 1.0 character sheet reveal by 5.5 months. Okay. And the second image, which is 2021. Full reveal, thank you for the support. I had extra surprise for you that I'll be sharing soon. Art by... don't know who that is, but alright.
Yeah, I can't read that.
2021, though. This does, makes things a bit more complicated, doesn't it? We also have others here from the 7th of the 6th, 2021. So it is dated after this one, at least. So it does make things a bit more complicated, doesn't it? I can't offer much more in the way of that than simply presenting what we now know. I think okay, so from what I'm getting here, that first model's 2021. This one here is also, this small image is 2021, right? Okay, so if we go back here, they have referenced... Well, it's not that. They're referencing these, yes, from 2022. I assume this is a reference to this one being updated from this one. And then this merch being released, well, based on the implication in 2022 after this one's release as well. So then these over time being created, if Spite is releasing theirs before, their updates before Cinder, then it looks more like Spite is being copied. That's how it's being framed. And this is why I don't pay attention to any of this, because it's so bloody irritating to keep on top of it and understand it. It makes it interesting, at least.
It looks like a good deal of the stuff, at least from what we're seeing, was Spite had done it first, but there may be incidences here and there where it was actually the opposite, and they're all kind of getting lumped together.
Oh, Frosty Kane, we haven't got there yet, don't worry. We've got one more document to go through from Rain. We're going to try Leona to read again. This one is 4 pages, so don't worry.
Okay.
Crack on, Leona, go on. I've got chew it to eat.
All right. I moved my mic a little bit. Let's see if that takes care of the issue. I am sorry, guys, about all this. Hello. Thank you for taking the time to read this document.
You're welcome.
The events described in it happened about 4 to 5 years ago, before the first Cinder debut. I understand that there will doubtlessly be accusations of me clout chasing by revealing them. However, I want to collaborate. I can't read because it's too small. Hold on, let me blow it up.
Corroborate.
Okay. Thank you. I couldn't read it for a second. Nanolus's assertion that she is not who she appears to be on the surface, and confirm that no matter how much damage control she does, she is just as responsible as Red/Redacted.
So this is about the personality of the person. Okay.
I will say, in this document, I do know that Cinder is referred to as Tashi, I believe it is, because this is pre them creating the Cinder identity.
Yeah.
So, Cinder and I met while she was still running her Tashi MP3 YouTube channel, which is why all the following screenshots will show her as Tashi rather than Cinder, and that will come up later. At the time, she was only just starting her account, and I already had my own ASMR RP channel with less than 8K subscribers, and as a bigger channel than her, she couldn't wait to work with someone as quote-unquote talented as me. Then there's looks like a Discord screenshot from Tashi. You'll get, thank you. You'll get there. It's still hard for me to believe that someone so talented likes my voice enough to want to work together. And then I'm going to say this, don't make fun of me, an ooh-woo type of face.
Clip it! Clip it! Ooh-woo!
Shut up. We never ended up actually making any content together, but that didn't stop us from talking pretty much every day at the time. Eventually, she found a new way to make me useful. Scroll down.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I was faffing. There you go.
Oh, I do like telling you what to do.
I'll get used to it.
Oh dear. Pretty much immediately, she was flirting with me despite, as you can see here, having a boyfriend and both of us knowing, including regularly talking shit about me while telling me how great it would be if were I to replace him.
Yeah.
I understand that I'm no... Yes, I'm cutting out again.
Yeah. I understand that I'm no angel in this myself, but hey, at least I can be honest about it. In the images, you have Rain, saying besides, you said it's hard when your boyfriend is far, far away. I'm not your boyfriend, am I? Reply from Tashi or Sinder. No, but how nice that would be. Your perfect boyfriend material.
Yeah.
Ew. Rain, oh ho, so you want to go at it behind his back? How sneaky. Reply, hi honey, I've been talking to this guy about how badly I want him to fuck me. Giggity. Since you wanted to buy a flashlight instead of giving me any attention when I'm needy.
God.
Effing oof, dude. Literally, why would you even need a flashlight when you have a girlfriend? Reply, he sent me a screenshot a couple weeks ago telling me he was getting one and had the nerve to use it in front of me to show me how great it was.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah. Right. Wow. Yeah, must be great. Yeah, well, it speaks volumes of how good your pussy is if his pocket pussy's better. Yo, what the F?
God.
That's like me inviting you to a chatterbait room so you can watch me F someone else in all the ways I said I want to F you. Reply, isn't that great?
Oh my god.
I'm very slowly not feeling as bad for him about all this. Because it did honestly leave a bit of a bad taste in my mouth that all this was happening while you were taken. But then, yeah, that's a bit. Did you tell him that that was effed and hurtful to you? Reply, he asked me if I was okay with it. And after I explained how I felt, he told me that it was too late to do anything about it because it shipped and he kept it. Ah. Go to the kitchen in a couple minutes.
I'll try to read the Tashi ones. You rebrain.
Okay. I mean, far be it for me to give you advice. It's your relationship, and the only ones who can decide what is and isn't okay in it is you two. But that just sounds really sketchy to me. Also,
why did he ask if you were okay with it after he bought it?
Well, all I'm going to say on this is, two wrongs don't make a right, as much as I enjoy the sexting. Ugh. I'm really not right if you still want to be with him. I would either try to reconcile with him and get what you need out of the relationship and step back from me a little bit, or maybe consider taking a break. And I know that last part sounds effed coming from me, but I swear on my life, I'm not being scummy about it. That's really my opinion.
I've been really stressed about everything. And talking to you makes me feel so much better. Yeah, I did it. Deal with it.
VTuber.
I don't want to lose what we have, but I'm such an awful person. I don't deserve it anyway.
So that's what virginity sounds like. I don't believe you're an awful person. I believe that you're stressed, you're emotional. Oh, I have a super chat. Thank you so much, T in the Trenches, for smashing my new goal of simply one super chat. I was doing that while she was reading when she told me to scroll. I don't believe you're an awful person. I believe you're stressed, you're emotional, and you're looking for something to make it better. Which happened to be me when he wasn't helping. Listen, take a break from what we have for just a little bit and see if you can get something out of him first. You can't really have both of us, plus it wouldn't be very fulfilling to me to just be the other guy in this scenario and not get the full relationship experience. You can do it, person. I believe you can somewhat.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what I'd do without you.
God, virginity is strong. I'm not saying to stop talking to me completely. I'll still be right here to support you, whichever decision you end up making.
I
Cringe.
You too much. I don't know how to thank you.
Blowjob. Despite what there's evidently nothing serious for her and just a means of keeping herself occupied, she felt the need to keep stringing me along with proclamations of real L word, which is a slur here. Which, again, I was silly to believe in the first place, but still, I'm not letting you read that just yet. To show... So, this does show a level of character. I guess people play with each other online. Fair enough. I know, Laura, honestly, it made me kind of want to vomit too. I get it. I felt sick, and then I took a sip of the Buzzwall, and it just helped it sit back a little bit longer. Don't worry, that vomit's going to come out later. It'll come out later, don't you worry. It'll be burgerific.
Jesus.
Ew.
Type 1 if you want me to keep doing the voice.
She is definitely being cringy. Why did Simp make a Google Doc? I don't know. I think the inspiration with it is an interesting one. It's not. I'm not trying to judge yet because I don't really get it just yet. I feel like I need to get all the context before we actually before we get there, right? So the next image, I don't care. For obvious reasons, I won't share any of the explicit sexting, not just because of the NSFW nature of it, but also I just don't think it helps. Actually, it absolutely helps because context is important. I want to see how cringe you two cringe lords are. However, note, this all went on for several months and included more than just text, as both the date and the context of the following screenshot proves. Wait, did you send pictures? Did you FaceTime? Did you actually do more? All right.
Oh, God.
So, I mean, it looked like something was going on down there either way. Go on then, Leona, read that.
It's called Fingering Deer.
One reason I felt it important to share these details in particular is because I never found out if Red got told about what happened, especially not in full lucidity. Okay. The primary reason I've held on to all this for so long was an itching feeling that Red never fully knew, and it always felt like it would be unnecessary drama, so I left it alone. But now it seems as good a time as any to punch someone when they're down. Red, if you're reading this, I'm sorry for what happened. I really am. But given the actions you two have taken together regarding other VTubers, I still think you're perfect for each other regardless.
Oh, God.
The end. After Sinder got done using me for fleeting sexual gratification, I believe it's called finger licking good, our conversations slowed down, exacerbated by the Sinder character coming into fruition and finding immediate success. Yeah, if you... I'm very jealous of people...
Oh, excuse me.
Hello, Dark Chocolate. Hello, Anna PM. Hope you're all doing well. Hello, do scream back as well. If I missed anyone, do say hi, so of course I can hear your fluffing brains out.
Of course.
I do think with, like, there are some creators who just bang and they immediately get there. And I won't deny... I was having this conversation with a neighbour about, like, how their children have grown up. One of them became a teenage mother at 17. They were horrible for them. They've got 2 kids, they own a house now, and they live in a nice area, and they've got a great job. That took 4 years to do. It took the moment they had a kid, they suddenly changed. And I've said to the mother, I'm jealous of what she has because she's got it. I'm not jealous of how she got there, though. I would love to own my own house. I would love to have a good life. You know, I've got an okay life. But I'd love to have a good life. You know, but she's got it. You know, congratulations, by the way. That's great. You know. But it's a conversation about how some people are different from each other, and it's great. But I don't, with these kind of blow-ups, never good to linger on them because you know damn well some of these people, when they do it, it just goes straight to their head. And that's why I'm glad it took me 7 years to get a play button, because I took so long, and I don't feel special. I don't think I am either, to be honest. I'm just happy doing... No. I'm not...
I know.
No. I'm not self-deprecating. It's a simple, I'm not special, and I'm quite happy to be who I am. And I don't have to compromise. I don't have to shit on other people for fun in this way. I'll make content videos on it, though. So, we have a thingy here to read, and Leona gets to go first. After I'd stopped making content for a decent length of time by then, and thus she no longer felt she could ladder climb from me. Go on, then.
Hey.
Ew.
What was your exam for? I haven't been on this Discord account super often, so I missed a bit.
Hi, Donald. Hello, Rex.
Hi.
She made a new group chat without me. I kid. But yeah, there were the entrance exams for uni college. Uni is correct, by the way.
Nice. Congrats on passing them. I've been on the VTuber side of things, working with commissions and whatnot.
I don't care about the last part. So, until eventually she stopped using that account altogether and fully committed to Sinder, and I never heard from her again, something I was uncannily aware would happen even back then. Rain, I'll message you at this time in 2022 and you won't even remember who I am. Go on.
I
Moving on
never
from that,
forget you.
and that's pretty much it. This isn't meant to be a
Hold
witch
on,
hunt.
this
We
time
all make
it's
mistakes.
you.
Well,
Hold on. It's you this time. There's some type of odd computer oddness sound.
what?
There's some kind of odd. There was some kind of odd sound just then when you were talking. Yeah, a whining sound.
What whining sound?
Chat noticed it. I don't know. Chat noticed it. Yeah, there is some kind of odd, almost like a vibration kind of thingy sound. Is there?
Yeah, it's my power bank.
Uh,
That's literally my power bank. I can't do anything about that. Sorry, guys. You're gonna have to deal with the anxiety-inducing sound in the background. You've been here for an hour and 25. My apologies. I'm not taking it back. Yeah, no, it's the power bank. It does it every so often now. Right, it's pretty much it. This is meant to be a witch hunt. We all make mistakes, including me, as I've shown in the same document. But I feel like a good time to get off my chest things that have been on it for half a decade now. And to finally get some closure, even though I know how bad I look alongside her. Not as bad. Proportionate. A portal sleep sounds louder than usual. Only when I'm talking, because when I'm not, it's the mic on OBS is completely silent. I can only hope she takes this as an opportunity to change and grow as a person. And I'm okay, and I'm just going to throw this one out in the end because it's kind of funny to me to see in retrospect. Okay, thanks for reading. Go on.
don't forget about
Moving
me
on from that.
when you gotta let me at least read the whole thing.
I would say yes, but Cinder's apology.
Yeah, true. But just to cover the rain doc just then, personally to me, I found that doc needless. It has nothing to do with the drama that's going on, but I understand they probably thought this was showing of their character, that if they would do this to a partner. Trash behavior, yes. But yeah, I just didn't think that doc should have been put out personally to me, but do what you're going to do. Not my business at the end of the day.
I'm going to turn the master output level down, see if that helps. Am I too quiet for you now, or are we okay?
You're a little touch quiet,
Am
but
I?
check with chat. I can still hear you.
Right, as long as I'm still... I've turned it down on the Logitech side of things.
Okay.
I'm not going to fuck around anymore. AI speaking to each
Yeah,
other,
AI
basically.
speaking.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Basically, yes.
Yeah, no, the Morse code thing, it is my power bank. I can straight up see it. I know it's... I take my headphones off. It does it every day.
Yeah. It's awful. It wasn't doing it while
you
ago.
can hear me. I'm
It's
barely
just so
hear me.
weird. It
Oh,
started
great. So
happening.
it's nice to have a no-win situation, folks. Thank you for the assist. I'm turning it back up to 100%. You can deal with the ticking in the background. I can't fix that, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Sorry, guys.
It's not an... It's... No, fuck off. Right, so Cinder, my apology, Google Doc. So...
There we go.
Underneath is a tweet of a person I know of. I've been close friend of Silver for years. Did you know for years she's heard the same comparison of you to her and has never once badmouthed you, never once? I've seen and heard so many things in our smaller streamer space community. Words travel fast. You have no clue. But she's one of the few people, rare few people in this space that genuinely wants to be friends with other girls with zero thoughts of career client motives. If there's anything I hope you imitate in the future, it's a heart with pure intentions. It was sending telegram. Yeah, I figured it. It does that every so often. It's just... Well, it stopped ticking mostly now, actually. It does it every so often. I can't fix it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm not sorry at all. You need to learn your lesson. Okay, so this is a full 7-page document, and it's all writing. Oh, fiddle shits. All right.
We can try to trade off. We'll see how that works.
Unlikely in this instance. Your mic's still doing that thing. I don't know why it was fine at the start and then it just went, nah, fuck you.
I don't get it. I do not get it.
All right.
I'm just gonna have to put money into a new microphone.
Let me have a sip of this delicious. Well, you have that issue, and apparently I can't get my audio right anyway, so it doesn't matter. Let me have a sip of this delightful nectar drink. Ew. There's nothing I can make to say this better, but I will try my best to properly convey my feelings, frustrations, and mistakes. I'd like to explain my point of view and apologise to each party affected. Okay. Red has been my co-content creator since I began making content, managing all aspects of what I do and being a major part of why I'm here. We've also been in a relationship since the start of my endeavours. It's no secret that many VTubers choose to keep their public and personal lives private. We are VTubers, of course you do. And I'm no different. As of yesterday, he is no longer working with me, and I have not extensively discussed any of this with him.
Where our personal situation goes from here will be figured out between us privately. I never intended to mention us publicly, but given that the claims are out there, I want everyone to know I'm taking this seriously. After years of working on everything together, this hyper-business-oriented outlook warped my view of what it is I should be doing, and what should be important to me as I navigate this career path. I have a terrible work-life balance, as it is, and being around projects and streams all day, every day, made me lose sight of the point. It took all of this happening for me to realise this behaviour isn't normal or healthy, and it's not an outlook I want to have. This doesn't absolve me of the things I've willingly done wrong and went along with, or the way I've treated people who are fully undeserving. I don't take issue with this so far. It's not the worst apology I've ever read. Well, it's a good way of starting. I will admit there's part of this I can empathise with this as well, because I do spend an inordinate amount of time, and have done in the past, working on content. And I don't spend much time not doing that. In fact, today I was going to paint a Warhammer model, and I didn't because I forgot about a street party. So instead I had to fraternise with subordinates. Hang out with the lowly plebeian and oikari, yeah? Hi, Darth Tara. Hope you're well. I'm not overly fond of... This isn't my area of expertise. I'm not overly fond of this. But it's just, you know... It's just what it is, really. It's part of the job, isn't it? Yeah? Yeah. In regards to Nano, for the majority of the time working with her, Red was the one almost solely doing the communication about new plans and negotiations through his private DMs. Nano had a project server we were all part of, where the actual art and models were worked on, but the conversations were focused around the work itself. I was not fully aware of the extent of Red's manipulation over Nano's commission decisions, and I should have been more diligent in my oversight. Every time I've been told that Nano had agreed to work on a new commission for me, it had been willingly and with excitement. From my point of view, it was that she genuinely wanted to be working on these things. I wanted to work with Nano as much as I possibly could, making her art the face of my brand. We had come to the conclusion that it would be in the best interest to talk with Nano about making more time for my projects by negotiating with her to cut out other work. This was wrong for us to push onto her, and it was wrong to the other creators who wanted the chance of working with her. There was only one specific creator we were responsible for naming and pressuring Nano into reconsidering projects with, not an entire list. Of her own volition, Nano cancelled a large portion of her model commissions last September. However, the claim that I was just using her is wrong. I've always treated Nano with respect and as my friend. I did give her a lot of work, and we did everything we could to accommodate her schedule if she needed more time or a break, and even helped her with her own project payments multiple times. I've invited her onto my stream, I've sent her my merch and things she's made for me, and I've always been open to talking... I was always open to talking to her about things outside of the project in the instances we would message each other. Regarding the exclusivity deal made between them, I had no part in the direct negotiations of their eventual agreement, and I had no knowledge of Bao and Cotton being included in this list. If I had known my friends were included, I would have said something to put a stop to it. I was only aware of it being around one person who I was unfairly pursuing when Nano had messaged me about this agreement almost a month later. Oh shit, this is one large paragraph. How much more? Oh, for fuck's sake. I want to get to the end of the paragraph and then I'll say something. Okay. Let me just swallow some of this delightful beverage here.
Yes.
Ew. I was under the assumption this was only about silveveil. I was upset and my initial messages to her were very guilt-trippy. But I wasn't going to force Nano to do anything she wasn't okay with and tried reassuring her that I was okay with her decision. Nano had also never come to me as seriously and professionally as her document was looking to address the issues she had with either of us, or to terminate our partnership. I had no idea there was even a conversation about Shy Lily recently between Red and Nano until reading her document. It's true, I had confided in Red that lately I hadn't been hearing from Lily like I had in the past, and was worried that something was wrong. And that's as far as it went, and he took it upon himself to try digging for more info. I'll get to that in a minute. And I was never even aware Nano was ever planning to work on a model for another of my friends. Can't be asked to learn to pronounce that. I do not condone anything about what Red said about Bao in these DMs either, and him using we and our in this context is abhorrently incorrect, and I believe was done to gain greater credibility behind what he was saying. Yes, Red and I were initially upset when Bao hired my editor, and I took it personally when I shouldn't have. I felt as if maybe my content wasn't good enough, or like I wasn't paying enough for his work. But I accepted it and was happy for him for getting that bag and supporting one of my friends at the same time. And yes, I was also upset when Sack, the Boss Rush MV editor, had told us that he won't be working on any future projects with us and will be instead working exclusively for Bao. But Red got in his head that it was Bao's fault that it happened, and seemingly held a grudge against her for it. He was very passionate about Boss Rush and the potential future projects around it, but he told me without an MV editor as talented as Sack, the future projects wouldn't reach the same heights. So he created this headcanon that's laid out in those DMs. I wasn't convinced this was the case, but it's my fault for never speaking with Bao about these things directly to clear things up, and letting it spiral to the point it got to. Every comment here about her own music, guilt-tripping and claims about our shared feelings towards her are disgusting, and I honestly don't know why he thought this way about my close friends beyond the resentment over those things, or why it was worth sabotaging her over. Yeah, swallow right ahead, honestly. I'm going to say here that it's all well and good putting this in text form and admitting you basically lacked balls to stand up when you should have. But it does comes across, and I know why it's been interpreted this way. This is easy to interpret for one very simple way. Using Red as an obvious shield to dismiss everything and say it's his fault, not mine. Yep. That's what people are going to do, because that's what it's the easiest way to do it, because there's nothing here beyond your word to show proof that Red is solely responsible. You've admitted to being a guilt trippy, which was earlier here somewhere. Or was it here? I think it was here actually, wasn't it? You've mentioned it, and that's fine, but the guilt trippy thing was both people, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's very easy for people to interpret it as such, which is why this has been poorly received.
Yeah.
And I will admit, I find it very hard to believe that solely Red would have known or acted without any knowledge. Because again, you two are a couple, you've worked together for years. Yes, when you work together like that, then, to be honest, the Sinder brand becomes a part of both of you, really, doesn't it? So there is an aspect of it where, yes, okay, Red is doing this in his own DMs, but it's very hard to accept that it's only Red acting. Right? That's... Go on.
I just wanted to address something in the chat, Michael and Frosty. Yeah, from what I had seen, they're now their ex-manager, but I wasn't sure if they had actually broken up or not.
It's in the paragraph, they'll be doing that privately. Yeah, it's a private thing now, which is perfectly fine. I fully accept. I think that because of how this paragraph is structured, and it's fine to write this out as you have, without anything else to work with, like something screenshot related or some kind of something else. I don't know what kind of evidence you can provide. That's the problem. This will be dismissed by many who will just say you're throwing Red under the bus. And I'm only stating it because that's an obvious point that people will say it. Yeah. Yeah. It's just the obvious one. And Hodgkin, yes, I heard about it. I think we have the video, don't we?
We do. I have it.
Yeah, I was gonna do a response to that last night. I ran out of time. Next paragraph on page 2. Thank God this one's not as long. The It's Just Business screenshot on my DMs with Nano's documents from November 2023. Yes, I know. I remember seeing the stamp, and I'll go into my thought process of everything I said here. What Red was trying to explain to Nano is that if everyone has a model by her, then the innate value of her models overall are diminished by there being an oversaturation of that type of model out there. I disagree with that. I understand the mentality, but I disagree. I think that, if anything, it inspires other artists to be better, which means then that the work that's done by Nano will be devalued, but only to create a greater market and improve Nano as well, which means Nano then has the chance to be a better creator, a better artist as well. In fact, it creates competition. That's what it does. Younger artists see the work of Nano and they're like, yo, I can do better, and they do, Nano gets better as well. Does it devalue Nano's work? It devalues that work. It doesn't devalue all of Nano's work, because new stuff will be better. Because I do think younger artists now have this immense talent. They're not like the old days where it was just, and I've said this term a few times, where many artists were just like a drop of water in an ocean of talent. You have no impact, and you're just a part of the collective. Not like Odo. We stan Odo. But it's very much in that ballpark. So what Rev is trying to explain, innate value, oversaturation, diminished. If everyone in the world had a VTuber model done for her, the value of having her model wouldn't be the same as if there were only a handful of them. Less is more is basically the argument made here. And that, I can understand it, but again, I disagree. Again, I think the competition would be great, and it would do so much more for the market, and it would inspire people to do better. I'm also going to insert that many artists are massively underpaid. If people did better and better and better, the money would start to go up. It really would. I think people would then be able to start setting terms where these creators wouldn't take the piss. But the value going up would be the same, which he viewed as a negative for me. I understand where he was coming from, but the VTuber space, this isn't something we should have pursued in the VTuber space. Nano has an amazing skill where she's able to draw each of her VTuber children uniquely. That's a point you made earlier. So I was never upset seeing new model siblings. Ew. In many cases, I was there cheering them on at their debuts and looking to collaborate with them as sisters when I could. Me saying it's just business was referring to my acceptance of Nano's business decisions. I'll agree that that could be how it's interpreted, but again, that wasn't how it was by many people who responded to it. It comes across as a very cold and callous way of saying it's business. You know, you pick a person, work with this person or not. Yeah, that's how it can be. Again, this is a thing of how it can be interpreted. And I'm not saying I agree or disagree just for the sake of it. I'm just going with how I interpreted it initially was, this doesn't look how you've described it. Now, anyway, this was not in reference to anyone's model being cancelled, even though it looked like that. Further explained to her that it's okay if she chooses not to work with me. I can understand where the next part can sound manipulative. My intention was to reminisce about the journey we had together up to this point. Perhaps it's just business was too short a way of doing that. We had together up to this point, since at this time I wasn't sure if this is where Nano and I would stop working together as frequently as we had been, and I'd have to look for a new model artist. I then encouraged her to work on projects she's excited about while I talked to Red to find a project that would work in with her schedule. Yeah, it only works devalued to keep creating the same model, and as mentioned here, the work was different for everyone. So I think that unique quality of being able to separate means your work is still just as valuable. Yeah, I think that's very important. Yeah, if it sounds minute, reword it. You can edit Discord messages. You can actually edit Discord. I do it all the time. I've done it to people where they've written something and I've basically made them look like they're an absolute loser. But it's just, you can change messages. Ew. Right. When talking about silveveil, I need to start.
Agreed. I'm sorry.
Go on.
No, I was just agreeing with Brian about the children, siblings, mommy, daddy stuff is just weird.
It's not for us.
Yeah.
When talking about silveveil, I need to start at the beginning. Before I was Sinder, I was a pink cherry blossom girl named Tashi, we know, that did ASMR content. ASMR content. When the VTuber boom happened in 2020, I knew I wanted to join in. COVID. You're to blame. Red and I contacted an artist in October, and they were set to start my VTuber design by December. The plan was to take my cherry blossom persona Natasha and make her a pink and white wolf girl VTuber. In November of the same year, silveveil revealed her Sakura wolf redesign. I had heard of silveveil earlier that year, but I didn't watch her streams at all. We knew we had to pivot before we were struck with a design that would just be a copy of one of the most popular VTubers at the time. Like I've explained many times on my stream, I knew I wanted to be a wolf girl, so I mixed my love of okami and metal music into the design, and came out with a hellhound. My name was going to be Ember, but Red came up with the name Sinder, since it was a mix of sin and cinder, both hell and fire themed. Cringe. It was only a coincidence that it ended up being similar to Silver. Sure, I was genuinely interested in pursuing a friendship with her, and drew fan art myself of us together. On the other hand, Red was in my ear the whole time saying how great working together would be, since, again, he's been the business-oriented side of my brand, which would be why you throwing him under the bus looks a bit strange. No offense. Let's see. Brand, where was it? I've lost it. Brand, oh yeah. No, I found the line. That was it. I had to go find it and just highlight it so I knew where it was. Since I started streaming, I have been ruthlessly compared to Silverveil, being called the discount version of her. I was accused of copying her design, copying her personality, even copying her laugh of all things. And there was a large number of people who were die-hard believers in the fact that I stole all of these attributes maliciously for my own gain. Yay. Citing the art I posted of us together calling her an inspiration, when in reality this was referring to the decision to become a hellhound. The only time Silverveil was mentioned in the original designing of my character was when we explained why we were pivoting to something else. Wait a second, I just want to check my power bank. Okay. Where was it? Character involved. I grew more and more resentful of Silver over time, between the constant belittling of myself and controversy around my first wife cup and other incidents, even though she herself never interacted with me directly. And it was also that fact that made me insecure, like I wanted to know if she believed all of these things or not. It sounds a bit obsessive. It really felt as if she didn't like that I even existed in the same space. So at the point I was working with Nano consistently, we brought up not making any more models for her. If a VTuber model is how everyone else recognizes you, then it'd be harder to compare us directly if we no longer look alike or have that shared similarity. It was a wrong and selfish decision. Yawn. Sorry, but it made me feel better, and that's why it was a constant... So, yawn, actually. It was a constant topic with Nano. Red pushed this harder than I ever did, because he knew how it affected me for years. But no matter what the outcome was, I wasn't going to walk away from working with Nano. Silver was completely undeserving of this treatment, and it was my own insecurities that led me to making this choice. I became unapologetically evil towards her due to no direct action of her own. There is no excuse for any of this. Do we know, has Silver actually said anything about this? This document was on the 26th. I'm kind of curious. The tweet was on 27th.
Maybe.
So I'll scroll through.
Okay.
I'm on the Twitter now.
Okay.
27th. No, I just see doodles. Concert. April 30th. Oh, hang on, maybe we do. Sorry, the dates were weird there. Statement on Sinder. No, there isn't one. No. Okay. I was hoping maybe Silverveil may have said something, but I can understand not wanting to because it would make some sense. This is an admission.
They have a tendency to stay out of stuff, so then putting out a doc was a big deal altogether. People did little video
Silver made a stream. So I can understand Silver making a stream. I can understand that. I only wanted to highlight that because if this is an admission of guilt, I do again want to point out that the way this is framed now makes it seem like obviously Red was more involved in the Sinder side of things. So then surely there's a mutual understanding between the two of them here, right? But then earlier it's no, just acting on my behalf without my knowledge. So you're under the bus. It doesn't feel. It feels like an inconsistency. Again, I'm not involved in any of this, so as an outsider who's seeing this, I just see it for what it is to me initially, and it takes time to fully unpack all this, and that's fine. But I can understand why, again, this is not interpreted in a favourable way for Sinder. Yeah. Yeah? Okay. Yeah. Responding to it, this one. Everyone, Solkid, apparently, yeah, a lot of people have. Shy Lily has put out something as well, which came out after Sinder's, under the apology. And we got Aru as well, somebody else, who I don't know who they are. So, again, I don't watch... I don't know who these... I'm following and learning as I go along, which I think is really good, by the way. Because it's always... That's why I know that this, on the face of it, the original documents, makes Sinder look really bad. It's also possible Sinder isn't as guilty. It's not my place to determine that. It's only based on initial response. Yeah?
At the end of the day, we don't know what Red told her and what he didn't, but the work partnership... She is culpable to a degree because he was working as her manager. She had to have known some of this stuff.
Agreed. I do think that you can fob and throw under the bus all you like. That's fine. But ultimately, you were working together and a couple for years. There's no way a lot of this didn't go through you in some way, or he didn't have the permission to act in your interest, or what's perceived as your interest based on what he knew of you. And you mentioned in the paragraph before, the jealousy and the issues with Silver here. It feels like that bitterness, he would have seen that and acted on it. I'm not trying to justify.
Yeah. No,
Just
I think you're not trying to justify it. Yeah, like the way I'm thinking is he may have been more aggressive than she realized. My chat shut down. Jesus. There we go. Yeah, she might not have known he made a list. She might not have known he was, quite as gaslighty, manipulative, but she said herself that she at least copped to one, silveveil. And that was, yes, petty childishness. Because there's no need for that. Yeah, he has a poltergeist, Anna. There we go.
USB cable's broken. I think that's why it's damaged. I think that's why I'm gonna have to keep my thumb on the mic.
Oh no!
I can see the lights moving when they shouldn't be. I've just realized.
We're just both the technology. Sorry, Snuggles, darling. Yeah, it could be feline. I think my mic is just trying to die on me because it's kind of old at this point.
If this, I'm back on the show, Mike. If the background noise fucks you off, you can downvote the stream, and I don't give a shit. Okay.
I can get them to work.
I really don't care anymore.
We don't want you guys to.
But she's talking over. She can't hear me right now. That's why she's still talking. Right. I'll say it again. Now you. Yeah. I don't give a fuck if anyone gets annoyed by the sound. I think the USB port on my backup mic is damaged, so I'm going to have to get that repaired. I can't fix anything, so if you don't like it, you can leave. I cannot fix anything to make you happy. I actually don't give a fuck enough, alright? I care, but I can't fix it. Done. Right, continuing, because I'm going to run out of power in about 40 minutes, so let's get through this. Moving on from Silverveil, let me talk about Spite. Once again, I had no involvement or knowledge of Red bringing up Spite to Nano in 2023. My only personal involvement with excluding someone specific from working with Nano was Silver. My design sheet and outfit were finished and made public at the very start of 2021. The first thing she mentions is a debut teaser in 2022 that was apparently posted on the same day as her original debut, which I honestly don't know if at that time this was intentional or not. I don't know when I first discovered Spite, and it could have been after she debuted. When I first debuted, I was very possessive of my design details, and I made it a year and a half since my design sheet was finished and public to having a full VTuber debut as I watched everything grow and change from the sidelines. And I didn't want anyone else to capitalize on my concept before I could. Soon after my original debut, I remember Spite getting an update to her model that made it seem like she was more closely resembled me. I need to close Logitech. That's going to bug me. Okay. There it is.
Okay.
Including fire added to her model without evidence. I saw it and thought she must have copied me, but I never did anything about it other than voice my frustrations to Red. Well, on the face of it, he's going to act in your interest. I don't know why. This just comes across as throwing him under the bus again. But he's acting as your manager. He's going to act in your interest. I didn't want to start drama with anyone, and I didn't have ownership over fire as a design detail. The references for the ripped shirt and shorts outfit on my bikini model was given to Nano in June of 2022, with the purpose of having a cover-up outfit that would be safe for Twitch. The merch art she's referring to was designed around my concept of my fire changing blue. The fact that the rest of the art was grayscale was the artist's choice, since it was going onto the back of a hoodie, and I didn't have a say, or at least I didn't count that being the final decision. There was no intention of deliberately looking like Spite in this piece. Then admits that, that happened. I'd always planned to one day make an angel counterpart to my demon outfit. When it was being made in 2023, my original reference sheet laid the groundwork for that idea. I've never liked theming anything around my brand into a religious light, so I chose to make my angel form more Greek Valkyrie. Okay. Greek Valkyrie there, okay. Then biblical, which also gives it just a thing. The Greek pantheon was faith as well, so the religious thing. I'm going to be pedantic enough just to correct that. Angels come from faith anyway. Okay, Greek Valkyrie, Norse Valkyrie, I don't give a crap. It all comes from a form of faith, okay? The sleepy outfit was a last-minute decision to pivot from a fully new 3.0 model because I had the opportunity to work with Gamer Sups on an AFK flavour. Yeah. Spite never would have received the hate comments over her outfit or any comments comparing us or belittling her because of my existence, and I never advocated for anyone to do so, especially given my experience. Now, Spite obviously sees this differently. That's fine, by the way. It's very hard to prove without anything to confirm or deny. So annoyingly, in the case of Spite, you can't prove that you can't definitively prove that Sinder ever said that. That, you know, go give him harassment, because I don't think any creator wants to do that. Okay. Greek Valkyrie isn't an angel. Thank you, random web user. I appreciate that. I'll be honest with you, I don't care what they are. I really don't. It's all something.
Yeah.
Angel form. I mean, people like what they like, and they like to misinterpret what they want to misinterpret. To me, it doesn't matter. It's just if anything's based on anything faith-based, I lose interest instantly. Spite also brought up another creator who reached out to her. I don't care anymore about Spite. I'm running out of pages. Okay, Peaches. Who's Peaches?
I don't remember.
Oh, I saw them.
Peaches
I
being
saw.
mentioned.
I know. I saw the name Peaches somewhere. Might have been in the source material somewhere.
He did Hodge Kim.
What? Oh yeah. I saw. We have it. I saw the name Peach somewhere. I saw it. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to find it. It would take too long. I don't have time. Lastly, I want to address Peaches. This was a very big problem I have, and I'm sure many others in my position do too. At the end of the day, I am one person, sorry. I am one person working on multiple projects with multiple companies, talking to dozens of people, and streaming for hours almost every day. I've never had a big social battery. And I get tired very easily when interacting with people. Which mic am I on? Oh yeah, that one. Okay. I've never had much energy over the past year, leading to me taking frequent naps. Boost bars.
Okay.
I've rarely been able to keep up with my closest handful of friends on a frequent basis, let alone everyone else. I'm 39, and I have one friend, and I promise you, I don't message him often. Red has always been a big help in keeping up with things, but he doesn't do everything. I'm so sorry I made you feel forgotten, Peaches. I've always cherished your friendship, and I was so incredibly excited to meet you in Paris. I'm so grateful for everything you've done for me. I've never thought to purposely drop you just because I could. Hang on, was Peaches the artist? Rain?
Vampeaches, apparently. Vampeaches.
Yeah, I saw the name Vampeaches somewhere. I saw it somewhere.
There's so many people and so many docs, it's hard to keep everything in order and remember every name mentioned.
Forgotten.
Yeah.
And BadOPCode sulking, it does come across as that a little bit. The irony, indeed. Vampeach, I've seen that name somewhere. So we have at the end here to Nano an apology, to Bao, and we got Sack, Cotton, Lily, and Silver. Okay. I'm going to get to these because my voice is starting to warm up a little.
Do you want me to try?
Nope.
You don't want to deal with the cutting out just in case?
We just know it's going to. We know it is. You're fine now. We know it's going to cut out the moment you speak.
I don't understand it. Okay.
Yeah. So I think she's just a friend. I think that I remember seeing the name Peaches somewhere on Twitter. I think, not Hopeless Peaches, just to be clear. I know I saw that name somewhere. To Nano, I'm sorry I let things get to this point or even entertain the thought of you working exclusively with me. That's not fair to you. Right. Okay. Sorry for putting you through that. No issue. Right. I don't care about the... Right, okay. Right. The apologies are intentionally to the individual. I'll get to a couple of them in a second, because I think we need to do Lily's, because Shy Lily has replied here. So, where Lily is here...
Thank you, Michael.
What? Oh, yeah.
Saying.
Oh, yeah, that's where I saw Vampeaches. I think that's where I saw. Yeah, okay, thank you. What was I going to say? Right.
You were talking about Shy Lily.
No, I was going to talk about something else, and I got derailed by the Vampeaches thing.
Sorry.
No, it's quite all right. No, right. So we built up to apologies, which start on page 5. Right, the first 5 pages are explaining everything based on perceived context, right? And that's totally fine. I do think that there are some discrepancies here, and it does just look like Red is the scapegoat, which makes no sense as you go further through the document, because Red is seen as a very involved entity within the brand of Sinder. In this, like, Sinder mentions doing, what's it here, multiple projects, multiple companies, dozens of people streaming for hours almost every day, and then referencing the cringe term social battery, right? Like, we all have a lot to do and a lot going on. No one is different. Your social battery means nothing to me, but this is why you have a manager in the first place, because he eases that burden, doesn't he? And that's why people have come forward, and you're like, well, oh shit, now I have to actually I have to call this out. I've got to put him on. He has to go under the bus. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
Your social credit score's about to go down, buddy. It hasn't worked. I'm going to go to we're going to go to the last ones, because I think I don't really want to read the nano one. I don't think changes anything.
Well, I dropped the doc as well, so if people want to read the individual apology, they can.
The friendship represents is an insincere. It definitely is. But I'm going to forego it, and rather than read too much into it because of time. Mostly because I don't... Is my dog snoring next? Oh, she is. I have a dog snoring next to me. So if you have any other noises that you think is my mic malfunctioning, it's a cavalier snoring. Is the ball? Oh, the bowl of water's empty. Hang on. There you go.
Oh no, get the baby's water. Get the baby's water. Yes, I'm joking with that voice.
There you go, plop, plop. There you go. Right, sorry, my dog was asking for water. Who needs...
I know feline, right?
Right, anyway. There are many parts of this you can tear apart and read into and then break down. That's totally fine. I think that it does come across as insincere because, again, that document did a lot of damage. It really did. I don't think... There are many people who do take a lot for granted. And it's why when I did the first stream on this, I threw Just a Robot under the bus, because he did take so much for granted with those that have worked. The one artist that works for me, that does other people, and did used to do other people, work for other people, just to be clear, she's not skank. That did work for other people and doesn't, because many people have treated her poorly. I'm a consistent because I don't want to hurt people. Why? Because I want them to keep working for me. In fact, after this, I'm going to message her and send her a picture of like a Thunderbird outfit and be like, yo, Thunder Moist. Why? Yes. I'm going to find another outfit. Why? Because I haven't had new outfits in years.
Yeah.
Because, bitch, I want work. So we have Silver, the one that I think is the most important one, right? Since the start, I loved that I saw someone else sharing so many similar interests to me. And though maybe someday we could talk about it and all be good friends, I was blinded by all these hate comments around me, calling me your lesser half. I hate the person I've become towards you. I tried reaching out some time ago to start up a friendly conversation, to change things and make things right, to say hi to you at conventions and support your endeavours. But despite all that, I was still being eaten alive by my own doubts and fear of harassment. I was pressured by the community as a whole to try reaching out to collaborate, since I got these messages so often comparing us, and I hoped we could work something out. The photo of me at the meet and greet was taken candidly. Thank you, Ray. I really appreciate that. Oh, you're Goldie. Nice. I have two Cavaliers next to me. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you to everyone that's donated today. I really do appreciate it. Where was I? The photo of me, the meet and greet candidly. I posted without asking you, which was wrong. I was wrong to letting everyone get into my head about all these malicious things. I'm sorry. Okay. Despite sorry, I've assumed things. Peaches. Oh, why did I get it twice? Oh, okay. Ends with one to you were first person I met as an ASM artist. Don't care about any of this really. Pyro Pups. Is that the community?
I'm guessing so.
That's pretty cool. You know what? Everyone, a lot of people have names for their communities. I'm not going to judge. Yeah. I'm gonna go to Shy Lily's response, because this is the one that means the most. Because Shy Lily's mentioned here. It's Cotton and Lily, yes? So I assume Cotton and Lily, Shy Lily is in this part, yes?
Yeah, I think there's something about cotton in the tab too. Yeah,
I think there is, and we may have gone through that previously. So, that's Aru. I'll go to Yod, sorry. Oh, my apologies, folks. Okay. The absolute audacity to sit here and continue to manipulate and gaslight is absolute insanity. The pain and mental torment you've caused to the ones closest and most supportive of you has been devastating, and I have never been so heartbroken and hurt so badly for my friends. The @ symbol is and symbol is interesting. You are the fakest person I've ever had the displeasure of supporting, reading and hearing of how you viewed me behind my back, not just through screenshots of your man, but also your very own messages, while having to sit here and read through these BS lies you spin makes me want to vomit.
Ooh.
I'm getting the distinctive feeling this apology is not accepted. To claim you didn't know a
Single thing.
and had zero awareness of what your man was up to, when everyone who shared even a single moment with you knows that you basically operate as the same person, sharing every waking moment while loving to jump at the slightest opportunity to turn into your most slanderous self as soon as the opportunity was given, even when talking about your friends, is sickening. I have experienced your own interaction, your own actions without Red, in a situation where in your own screenshotted words you express a pressure to live up to what Lily is, and proceeded to throw one of your most loyal and supportive friends under the bus after months of continuous planning, just because you consistently chose business over friends, never feeling bad for failing them. Just to earn the bag and compete with me over a V-card collab that
You.
rescheduled to be on the exact date your friend needed you to keep an important promise. You actively lied about it to them, instead blaming
Me.
for a collab
You.
rescheduled, adding me to the pool of excuses just to save your ass. When you realized you were being a bad friend, why blame me for choosing to miss an obligation
You.
agreed to on one of the most important days in that friend's career? Everything you do is out of competition through your constant need to one-up the people who are the sole reason you even have these opportunities and platforms to earn from to begin with. You're welcome, by the way. You claim that it's just business. Well, in the business world, there has to be accountability, and all you've done is try and shove it away and admit to nothing. A true narcissistic fashion, you're only feeling sorry about yourself and your own consequences and your career, and try to salvage it. The Ands man. Fucking Ands man. I'm sorry for everyone who looked up to you as an inspiration, and there are replies, yes, of course. Mostly VTubers. I'm not going to add much. I'm going to say that. What was I going to say? I had something in my head. There was something. Oh, I've known creators that do things like this, constantly to one-up people and get opportunities and get put there, and then they throw it away. I collaborated with one in the past, and they had every chance to be better, and they just threw it all away.
Yep.
It's just some people either do it because they are self-destructive, or because they need that in their life, because their life is so dull. I'm not going to again make excuses for people's shitty behaviour, because there is no such thing as an excuse for it. As far as I'm concerned, if you're going to pull these kind of stunts, you bring it all on yourself, mate. You really do. You have absolutely no shame, and you deserve everything you get. I'm not, though, going to be the one to say whether or not Sinder is sincere or not, whether Red is at fault solely, or whether Sinder was more involved, because I think there's a lot more to this, and I do think that, annoyingly, Sinder is not going to be able to escape this. For Cinder's sake, I don't believe they can escape any of this, and people aren't going to forgive. The internet doesn't forgive by nature. It really doesn't. So you're going to be hard pressed to ever come across anyone who's willing to sit there and give it that kind of chance. You woke up at 4 a.m. Andrea. Hi.
Hi. I personally think at the end of the day with this, they'll end up being fine in all actuality, because even though the internet doesn't forget, it moves on.
What kind of chili plants? By code name. What kind of chili plants? Tell me everything. Be specific. I like chilies. So.
I think in the future it may be harder for them to work with artists who know about this, and harder for them to collab possibly, but they'll still get views, they'll still get subscribers.
Oh yeah.
And the motor of the internet will continue. I mean, we've seen it with other creators in other spheres, like I'm Alex and stuff like that. There's still people that are going to watch them, even though they might be a trap person privately. I
don't know if this falls into the creepshow art Illuminati territory of I'm going to destroy everything. Jalapenos, nice. Enjoy water treatment, bud. No, I think there's a risk for Sinder, 100%. They're not going to get many collaborations in the future now. Their name has been poisoned. the brand will suffer, and it will take years to fix that. And the internet again doesn't forgive nor forget. It won't. And as long as there are other streamers like Shiley, Silver, if Sinder ever gets mentioned as being bigger or better than them, and they get criticism, they're going to point this out and be like, "Yo, are you sure you want to back this? Like, do you want to back this?" Because people are going to drag it up, and Cinder's never going to be able to escape that. Red too, for that matter. By the way, I would, if they're not broken up, I would firmly believe that Red has instead gone to a back seat sort of role, and will instead work in the more in another role within the Sinder company, right? Because I don't think if Red is as much a part of it as Sinder gave off in the apology document, in like the first 5 pages, those first 5 pages made Red look like Red was fully invested in so much. And so I think that if that's the case, then Red's not going anywhere. And the Aru
just
stuff.
a little side note with that, with the whole manager situation. If you're going to be a couple and have a relationship, there has to be transparency. I think that, you know, even in simply have a Discord and have screenshots of, just tell the person, hey, I'm going to send this to the creator, blah, 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 so she's on the same page with all of them. Have transparency with each other. Make sure stuff's not going on that you don't know about.
So, Zon Broccoli, you mentioned you couldn't stay with someone like that. This is where if you find out someone's done that and you genuinely didn't know, you break up. It's really hard to. You're really going to struggle to stay with that person. But if you knew, then you stay with them. And that's why I think the first part of the document from Sinder would be telling. If the relationship goes private, that's the way of saying, okay, we're staying together. Because I think Sinder did know something. And I think whether... Thank you. Hi. Whether Sinder wants to admit that or not, that's totally fine. You know, I don't care enough. But I think if you mention inaction much the way through the document, Sinder does anyway. And that's important because I'm going to close down on that side, by the way. You stop shooting. You don't see it.
Okay, that's fine.
It doesn't ultimately matter, but I think that you did know something, and your inaction through your own reasons. I mean, I understand that because I don't like confrontation either. I'm not the biggest. I prefer to play a different game because I think it's easier to deal with problematic people to simply wait it out and then find the best path forward once they've exhausted all their bullcrap. And it usually works. Actually, it always works for me, but that's just because it's me. Because I'm amazing, as you don't know. I'm not an ego. I'm not a massive narcissist. I'm not an egomaniac. I'm just amazeballs. But I'm a eunuch as well, so it's fine. Anyway, but there are different ways of handling situations, and sometimes, Sinder, you've gotten this massively wrong. It's going to backfire on you, and I think that you'll come out of this, but you're kind of fucked. You're not going to go much further. You'll be able to make money though, so there's that at least. Guaranteed to work 60% of the time. That sounds like the English work ethic. Anyway, I'm going to run out of power soon, and we've been here for over 2 hours, and I've spoke for most of it, which was not the plan. I need to go and do... It's not your fault. Not your fault. Although I'm going to have to go get a microphone repaired again, which is fucking great. I'll take it into my bedroom and see if I can make it work in my bedroom. Maybe it's the USB cable. Thanks for joining, guys. We really appreciate it. I'm going to vanish now and do a few little chores. Thank you to, obviously, you, Leona. Thank you to everyone that super chatted and to liking the stream. I appreciate it. Do let me know what you think in the comments. Of course, I'll end the poll now where 90% of you, 132 votes though, said, and obviously that means it's the correct answer. No, 90%. Yes, 9%. That makes sense. Very well. See you guys later. Bye. Say bye.
Bye. Bye.